G'day everyone, round 7 coming at you. No, it's round 8 apparently. Japan, let's get into it. No wuckers. We've got Jacob Weatherburns coming your way at some point. I'll just give him a few minutes to settle in because, honest to God, we're still getting cooled down after last week at Hungary. And in all seriousness, I don't think it's going to get any less exciting this week because we've got Suzuka coming up, and Suzuka is known for its death curbs. There would surely be Sector 1 and 2 safety cars, lap 1 instantly. Last week's race winners, Ben Curtis and Peter Thomas in Tier 2 and Tier 1 respectively, looking to get results on the board again tonight. Oh, deep rest. Looking forward to it. Jacob Weatherburn, are you there, my friend? Welcome.
I am here, mate. Thank you very much. It's nice to be back as always. Suzuka's a very fun track to drive. I do love this one.
Right. You know, there's a lot of people who don't like it here, mate. There's a lot of people who reckon that the death curves just aren't worth it and we shouldn't be racing here. It's too slippery and they're crying and they're carrying on like pork chops. They don't like Monaco. They don't like Suzuka. Who are these people?
They don't like the hard tracks, mate.
That's it. They just want the easy ones. They want to go around in circles.
Stay the hell off the curbs. Don't touch them. They won't be a problem.
F1 2022 NASCAR, I reckon, is what they want to do. Tom Maloney quickest with a 29.4 at the moment. Quickly beaten by Andre McLeod with a 29.3. Hello, YouTube chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Jacob's here as well. Elite Alex is on. Hello, Loudest Howard. Babby's in chat. Hello, everyone. Yes, Fire Lord.
Everyone's here tonight.
Oh, I'm so excited to see YouTube chat. Been looking forward to this most of the week. This is one of my favourite tracks. Absolutely one of my favourite tracks in both ACC and in this game. So I'm uber excited. I'm also very excited for the Super Sprint format, which we'll see. Oh, you're a cutie. Stop it, Jared. Stop it. Yeah, the two sorry, the two 25% races with the reverse grid pole in the second race. It is the top 10 that will be reversed in the second race. If I'm not mistaken, it's not the top 12, which is it is in ACC.
Yeah, top 12 in ACC. I believe it is top 10 here in F1.
Oh my god. Wait. All right, we're back.
There we go. We're back.
Sorry.
We're good.
Sorry. Oh, all right.
Ben Curtis goes to the top to the 29.2.
He is in
Aston
form.
Martin 1-2 at the moment. There's Jesse McLean has binned it in qualifying.
Oh, come on.
He has DNF'd.
Oh.
Big F in chat for that bloke. He's not having a good run at the moment after his mix-up with strategy last week.
At least he's posted a time. He's on the board, at least, but a 1:31.2. I don't know how high that's going to sit. I think... Yeah.
I would expect that to be last place.
Yeah, pretty much last that is going to be. Hang on, I got one more thing I want to do. I'm going to sneak out here and get rid of this. Yeah, that's better. All right, now I can see lots of good, healthy things, such as Alpine being on top of the constructors by not much. Alfa Romeo hounding them down. Speaking of Alfa Romeo, Neil Alexander is on track tonight, as is... No.
I do believe we only have one Alfa Romeo tonight.
No, the teammates.
No, so that's going to be a bit of a...
Matt Thomas is not in the car. There you go.
So that's going to hurt their constructors with only one round to go after this one. And Momo's been in some fine form for Alpine lately.
This is not a lap from Joe, so I don't know why he didn't pull into the pits there, unless he's planning on going for a third lap here.
I have no idea what tyre life is around here. Jesse McLean's already chat saying is #hards.
Please,
I mean, you really don't have any option, mate. You're going to be starting last.
No, please, for the love of God, do not use the hard tyre. It is a 25% race, you crying peanut. Do not use the hard tyre. Oh, for the love of God.
I have no idea if this track in F1 is like in ACC, but this track is as slippery as hell in ACC.
Yeah, look, it's not...
I hope it's like that in F1 as well.
Yeah, it's not particularly grippy, but it's not too hard. It's not... I don't know what everyone's crying. I do know. I know that you can't use the curbs anywhere near as much as you do in ACC, but I mean... Just don't use them. Just use them. Just don't use the curbs. Just drive safely. I don't know. People trying to go too fast. Just fucking get to the end. Anyway.
No, it's about consistency. Consistency beats pace.
Speaking of consistency,
you might be over one lap.
How's Joe going here? Hey, what is that? What is the pit? Does that mean he's pitting next to the fuel icon? He's not got red fuel. He's got a red spanner and what's? Oh, does that mean his
teammate is in the pit?
In the pit. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. So he was up by 4/10 coming out of the second sector.
Let's go, Joe. What do you got for us? It's a 29. No, it's not quite a 29. It's a 30.2.
I forgot the start-finish lines right at the beginning of the straight here in F1 and not halfway down it.
It's actually cool having just come here from ACC. We did ACC Suzuka this week. So it all looks the same, but it acts very differently. As you said, the start-finish traits are a totally different spot, the start-finish line, and yeah, the cars behave a lot differently, and the lap times are obviously a lot different. So, looking forward to... I am looking forward to safety cars, just quietly. There's going to be a lot of death.
This man has been in form the last couple of weeks.
Hasn't he ever?
Ben Curtis has just picked himself up mid-season, and he's put in some fantastic results the last couple of races.
Where's he sitting at the moment? Oh, tell you what this did. He's in P2, right? In the Tier 2 Championship. You know how Momo DNF last week?
Yeah.
And we were saying, oh yeah, this is going to bring in, 2 and 3 and 4. It's going to really close the gap. You know what it actually did, the DNF? It meant that his drop round wasn't 52 points. His drop round is now 0. So instead of closing the gap,
it actually extended the gap.
It actually extended the gap. Now Momo's 544 points at the top of the table, and this man, Ben Curtis, is in P2 on 319. He is a full 225 points behind Momo.
If that's not a strategic DNF, I don't know what is. That man knew what he was doing all along. He hated Hungary, he took a disconnect, and he's moved on to the next one.
He's absolutely dominated this season. He's got 4 wins on the board already. He's got 6 podiums, 6 top 10s. He has been in amongst it the entire season.
And you've just cursed him. Around he goes.
Curse. He's all right. He's fine. So what? 7 minutes to go. I don't think he wants to start from the back, so he'll want to put it in at some point. Tom Maloney.
Tom Maloney goes quickest. 29 flat.
Nice.
That's a fantastic lap.
Hey, Tier 1 boys. Alex, Gladys Howard, tell me what's the Tier 1 time? What are we looking for? Tier 1, Tier 2, pole times, put your bets in, let's go.
Gray goes quickest. He's the first one into the 28s.
Tell you who I'm loving seeing in here is Babby. Hello, mate. He pops in here every week, does Babby, and he's only here for a short time. I wonder if he's going to hang around and watch Tom Maloney do well tonight, because he's up there in P2 at the moment. He's looking very sharp.
Ben Curtis is DNF'd.
Ooh. Where was that?
Oh, it seems his softs were on 0 laps, so he must have been on his out lap somewhere.
He'll pop in a chat at some point here, and he'll tell us what happened.
He's still got a pretty good time, though. He's got 2.5 tenths to Franco behind him, so as Deckers goes above him, the 29.2.
Nice one. Who else is on a lap? Suma might be coming into the final sector now. He might be on one. He's 3 tenths up at the moment. This should probably put him up there in around about P5, depending on how well he did that last chicane.
Does jump him up there to P5.
He's another one who's had a pretty consistent season. He's been in the top 10 more often than not, which sees him plonked in P7 at the moment. I tell you what, that gap between P8 and P6 in the championship is 6 points.
Well, that's very close. We do have another DNF in quality, though. Mike Donalty has now DNF'd himself.
This is what it's about tonight. Get ready for safety cars and DNFs, because this track is deathly in these cars.
Jesse, you don't have your engineer. You don't have your engineer John here tonight. I'll give you your strat. Put the soft tyres on, drive them until they hurt, and then pit.
That's it. And put the mediums on.
That is your strat.
Don't put the hards on. It is a 1 pit stop race, and you want to plonk yourself. You want to land around about P10 at the end of race 1. That's the reverse grid pole. No, don't soft. No, he's just taking.
If you put the hards on, mate, I'm going to somehow disqualify you from this race.
He's taking the piss. Hard, soft, Jeremy, you reckon? Goodness me. Come on, you people. Sort it out. Soft, medium. That's what it is. Unless
there is less than a tenth splitting the two guys in P1 and P2 currently.
Who else is on a lap? Do you reckon he's doing another one? I don't think so. No, he's not now.
Not anymore, he's not.
Yeah, curse cam's on again. I tell you what, I'm on fire this week.
We got Joe Williams down there in 15th on an outlap. He won't want to be starting down there. Momo's down in 18th on an outlap. He's also not going to want to be that far down.
Yeah, we'll be jumping on board with Momo when we get a chance, because he is one who will want to improve. Wet race. Ooh, hello. If it wasn't already slippery.
It's only 4 minutes to go here in quali. These guys will know it's going to be a wet race, so they'll want those starting positions.
But I Ryan Kavinsky about to cross the line here. Does improve. It's enough for P8. Nice work. Plenty of drivers in that mid-29 range. There's also plenty of drivers in that low 30 range who I reckon will be close to improving. I'll jump on board with Joe. He said he was on a lap. He's 2/10 up as well, so that'll plonk him in the 29s.
I'll lift him up quite a few places if you can get into the 29s. Get him up there into the somewhere around P10, P12.
It is very exciting how close Zolder is for sure, Babby. Yep. Actually don't know how many would be in here spectating this race who aren't aware of that. There's plenty who have common interest. But yeah, very close.
The averaging of the times for quali has made it extremely close.
Yeah, and the fact that we've got 7 days to post infinite laps just made that the amount of laps that are going on the board is phenomenal. Really good to see so much interest in the Zola 7 hour coming up at the start of July. Qualifying on now.
Jump on board with Momo. Momo should be on a lap now.
Where is he? There he is. Oh, he's half a second up too. Yeah, all right.
Flying.
Well, half a second, still only a 30.1, so there's still plenty of time to go, but let's see how he finishes off this one. Up into this tricky cambered hairpin. I love this hairpin. People don't like... Peach doesn't like this hairpin. Peach? Where are you, Peach?
I love it.
Oh, it's a great hairpin.
It's a great hairpin.
Oh, I don't get it. I'm happy to say, you know, some tracks are divisive because they're hot lapping tracks or race tracks or whatever, but a particular corner, surely... Everyone, I don't know, it must be driving style or something. That's a great hairpin.
I'm not good in quali around this track, but put me in a race with full fuel and I do much better. He's 1.1 seconds up here.
So where's that place? 29.5.
Somewhere up in 6th, 7th, 8th, if he gets a good run through these last couple of corners.
There's still time in this. Got a pretty good exit, hugs the line all the way down to E5 with a 29. 3, 4, 7. So not good enough to beat Ben Curtis, who won't be able to improve. The 2 leaders at the moment, Andre McLeod, Tom Maloney, both on track. We'll jump on board with Andre as he comes through the first sector. Avoiding those curbs like the plague. Interesting short shift into 7th through Dunlop there. Not quick, but I extend
slightly up. He's half a tenth up.
Yellow flags popping up everywhere. This car's getting out the way.
Beveridge is DNF now. Somewhere, looks like coming out of the last corner right before the start-finish line.
Just a minute 20 to go in qualifying now. So these laps will be the last. Although it looks like the battery usage here is pretty low. This is a hot lap from Andre, and he's nearly in the 3rd sector. I think he's 25%. So could potentially go for a second push if he wanted to. Yes, OOR does have DDoS protection for its servers. That seems like an SRO stab. Yeah, we've all seen what happened to the SRO 24 hours of Spa. A bit disappointing, really.
It looks like he's going to improve here if he gets a good run.
Yeah, he does.
He does 3/10.
Nice
so he'll park it up now with 30 seconds to go.
Well, we've said that about Andre before. We've said he was not going to do another lap, or we watched him spin one week and he still managed to pull a lap out. I wouldn't jump back to... No, he's out of fuel, surely. Yeah, no, that's not.
Yeah. Ben Curtis can still start P4 after DNFing quali. We'll be stoked with that.
Tell you what, all these times being posted, Decker's still up there in P3. That's a very nice lap. He has come into his own in the last half of this season. He has been very strong. Has our man Deckers.
The timer ticks 0, so this will be the last laps for everyone.
A couple of drivers out of position here too. Dale
Keelan
Beveridge.
Dryberg looks like he's starting P16. Raj Sandhu P17.
As I say, there's a couple of drivers just aren't quite as high as they'd like to be. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Into the pits we go.
Put that one in there. Park it up.
Deckers is a tenth slower than his best, so I'm not sure he's going to be improving. How's Neil going? He's 2 tenths up. Here's the go. Can he sneak into the 28th? I don't know if he's... Can we not? Can we not with the Codemasters? No, that's not
Yeah, he's off. Momo looks like he's coming towards the end of a lap here.
He's 10th up.
10th up.
This is
That'll
two
gain him a
lap old
position.
softs. So these tyres are going to be screaming at this point, and he'll be starting on some pretty worn softs if he wants to improve on this lap.
29 flat. He nearly gets P2.
So
Momo jumps P4.
Does finish the lap. So yeah, those softs 3 laps old already, which puts him at a disadvantage to Tom Maloney and Deckers, who are on 1 laps in front of him. Anyone else? Norfolk, how you going? He's 17 seconds down on his best, so that's probably not going to be an improvement. I reckon that might be it for qualifying here in T2.
Yeah, doesn't look like anyone else is on a lap.
So yeah, as we were talking about, Momo's basically wrapped up the championship, and I say basically. I'm not a mathematician, but that's a pretty significant gap. Is 225 points.
Can't be beaten.
So with Suzuka to go, Suzuka in Great Britain is the last round next week. So yeah, he's not going to be caught. Is there the battle for second? Ben Curtis and Declan Hollingshed is about 30 points difference, so there's a bit of a battle there. And Frank Frankfurt in P4 is only 3 points behind Deckers, so he'll be looking to improve as well. But for now, Andre McLeod will start on pole. Not his first pole position, but he is down in P8 in the championship, so it's just not been his season. A couple of poor results, especially last week. Let's flick over here and go down the bottom, because that's the way Deckers likes it. Jesse McLean starting from the very back of the field. It is Andre McLeod in P1. Tom Maloney and Declan Hollingshead, 1, 2, 3, and Momo, the front 2 rows of the grid. I very excited for Tier 1 tonight. That is going to be where the action is, I reckon. And then I just don't know about wet races.
Say that, but these guys put on a hell of a race every week. So
I know they do, but I'm not sure about
if
wet
it's going
races.
to be wet.
I think in wet races, everyone calms the hell down and they just look for survival. So I think there'd be less spins in a wet race than there would be in a dry race.
Hopefully we might get a wet to dry then.
Oh, yes.
If it dries out towards the end would be very interesting.
I do love a bit of tyre strategy. Oh, that is moist.
That is, yeah, that is very wet.
Yeah, that's not trying to rain. That's not potential. That is wet.
That is Suzuka weather. Does always seem to rain here a lot when you race.
Does it?
Yeah, especially in F1 I've found it seems to rain more often than not.
Right, okay. I haven't raced here enough.
So throw quality times out the window. They mean nothing now.
Moisture. Yep, they're very wet.
It's a shame we don't get that monsoon rain. It does look to me like they will be having to go full wet. Be interesting to see if there is enough moisture on the ground, or if it is only intermediates.
Yeah, that'll be another interesting choice. How many start on inters? How many start on wets?
Just do the George Russell and put the slicks on.
Is there a middle ground there? Is there a kind of... Or does Jeff just put you on the right tyre? Is there a kind of a middle moisture where some people may go on inters or wets? Or is it just, no, this is wet weather and this is inter weather?
I think it's just this is wet and this is inter. Jeff will normally give you a strategy. Whether it's any good or not is another question.
Couple of cars porpoising out there on the grid, doing the doof.
Looks like there's a few bouncing around out there, actually.
Drivers just getting their strategy together at the moment. Hey, I'll tell you what else is interesting about a wet race is there's no mandatory pit stop. They can go from start to finish on their intermediate tyres. Yeah, let's see Jesse do that.
That is correct.
Jesse's going to be out there on hard tyres. I would love it if he did it. I'll pay that.
Someone in chat that's in Tier 1, how many laps do we have for 25%?
Oh.
Probably somewhere around 15, maybe?
It's a long lap. I reckon... I was going to say 13, but now it looks silly because Jeremy already said it. All right, you win, Jeremy. Yeah, price is right. Yeah, that's what I reckon, 13.
The whole wet tyres will easily go the distance if this race stays wet the whole time.
Wonder how many of these guys are much quicker in the wet than they are in the dry, and how mixed up this grid's going to be. Oh, so many things to think about.
I wonder how many of these guys practice in the wet.
Mate, I guarantee you no one practiced in the dry this week. I've been going through the Discord chat, and there's a lot of people who didn't practice this week. So they're not ready for this. They're not ready. They are not prepared. 2 minutes, just about round up now. So I would expect the countdown to begin very shortly.
It takes a little longer to get their wet weather strats going.
There it is. 30 seconds to go before we count down those red lights and head down into turn 1 of 19.
We're about to find out who loves the wet weather.
This is going to be the longest...
No Bender this week. Bender would have loved this.
He absolutely... Yeah, he'd be shattered. I hope he's watching. No, he's probably not. He's probably too busy being a very smart, educated man. But he might watch it back. He'll enjoy the wet weather. 7, 8, 9, 10 red lights. And they're out. Andre McLeod leads us away. Lots of squirrely, squiggly cars getting off the... Oh, my goodness, Andre McLeod. He's managed to hold on to that and keep it out. That is the Ferrari. Brian Kavinsky, who's now getting involved. Andre's had a terrible start, and he drops back through the field a little bit. Oh, that could have been much worse.
Like they're on Inters, but that was a big moment for Andre off the start.
Yeah, that could have been much worse than it was. He actually did really well to save that. So he carries on up into the S as we go for the first time.
Tom Maloney takes the lead of the race.
Well held indeed. I thought that was going to be an absolute smashing. No more than 12 metres off the start line.
I was just about to say that.
But no, he did well, Andre. He did very nicely to hang on to it. But he did drop a couple of spots. And poor old Deckers, I reckon, may have just had to have slowed up to avoid getting into the back of Andre McLeod. So he's back to P5. Ben Curtis, I think. Oh, Andre's really struggling. He's coming out of the hairpin there, also sideways.
Big winner, Brian Kavinsky, will have jumped a few spots there straight off the start. He's up 3. So he'll be laughing. He's managed to avoid all of that. These cars look like a handful at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
His first few laps, they've got to settle in. The 130R is going to be... No, they're going to... No, they're not taking it flat. They're also going to be lifting slightly to get through there. I wonder if that's flat in the dry.
Oh, that's an ambitious move, Jesse.
Jesus. He's going to go right round the outside.
That would have been very illegal.
Seem to have settled himself down now, single file.
Alright, so this is when the deaths will start to occur now that people have got space and they're not having to look after the car in front of them and they get to stretch their legs a little bit. Just how greedy do they get on the throttle as they come up here through the S's for the second time this evening? No yellow flags, most drivers keeping it together, so nice and tidy so far from Tier 2.
I would say keep it in a high gear, try and avoid that wheel spin. Jeff's calling a one-stop strategy, inters to inters. Get out of here.
I think the inters will stretch the 13 laps. Jeff, so you can take your pit stop and shove it.
Decker's got a bit sideways out of the hairpin there, up in front. Yellow flag in sector 2.
First yellow flag. It is
So
Jesse
Jesse
back here
McLean.
doing donuts. Gets it all together. Looks like he's got all his parts and his pieces intact, so he will carry on, but it'll be a long way back from there.
Tell you what, no DRS either in the wet, so overtaking is going to be very difficult. You're going to have to be right up the back of someone to get a move done.
That's not the first time we've seen go pretty wide out there at 130R. Decker's Jesse McLean last lap. I wonder, what is the protocol for track limits in the wet? Are they a little less... Are they a little more lenient or
think they are a little more lenient, but if you just get off the throttle and roll for a second or so, you can usually avoid a track limit warning. It's normally pretty brutal on the outside of 130R. Well, it is in ACC anyway. I'm assuming it would be the same in this game. Alex in chat, Jesse's not on hards. He doesn't know what to do.
The great man Dale Beveridge on screen will still be feeling the pain of last week on the second last lap. Just the smallest of mistakes has cost him the win. Now finds himself down in P16.
Would that have been his first win?
I'm not sure of that. I'm pretty sure he's a very quick man. He's been in OR for a while, so I reckon it's... Oh, look, I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer, but he's been here long enough. So we'll be looking for a better result tonight, but it's a long way back from P16. He's dropped 3 on the first lap.
Well, Tom Maloney's doing well out in front here. Momo doesn't seem to be making much ground. He's actually lost a couple of tenths in the last lap. That Williams has got some pace in the wet. I'll assume we'll be looking to make up a few places.
I want to see some side-by-side action at 130R in the wet. That takes me back to a move that Megan D did last season, or maybe the season before she did that. Side-by-side through 130R in the wet, got the move done.
I'm not sure I'd have the guts for that.
Oh, it's a huge move.
Joe Williams has got a bit of a run here on Norfolk. It's not going to be close enough though.
Yeah, they do have TC rug grass. They're allowed to use up to medium traction control. These cars in this game have the ability to go full traction control, but we don't allow that as part of our rule set. So they're allowed to go to medium traction control, but you may also be hearing this, which has nothing to do with traction control. That is just a Codemasters bug that doesn't play the Revolution soundtrack very nicely sometimes, and it just sort of chugs along. It's a bit sad, and we don't like it. Hopefully it's fixed for F1 22, but there it is again.
Yeah, well, they're all being very well behaved so far. It has just been single file since the start. There's not much going on at the moment.
Ben Kurz looks like he's side-by-side with Ben Diabols. These two very good friends, showing a lot of respect to each other there as they're still side-by-side around the outside of Spoon.
Well, here you might have your side-by-side through 130R here.
Down towards 130R they head, and they are still side-by-side. Neil Alexander's got the best shot of this. They've done pretty well there. Nice one. Deckers looks like he's going to get it done. Ben's not done yet, though. Into the chicane. There's a bit of a touch, and Ben looks like he's going to fit it. Now, Neil wants some here. There's a bit of a compromised exit there from Deckers, and Neil thinks, I'll have some. Not quite getting the exit he desired. And Deckers also not done yet, so he's going to have a go up into turn 1. Let's go. Still going.
Keep going, boys. Keep going.
Neil still very interested in this, and I'll tell you what, Zoom is not far behind either.
It is not over.
They are snapping at the heels. Great battle there between Ben and Deckers. As I said, a lot of respect between those fellas.
We're getting a good train of cars all the way down to P13 behind Ben Kurt now.
Yeah, they've just backed up the field a little bit. Everyone just following along behind me, nice and patiently.
I can feel it. I feel like it's about to kick off. Deckers is on the grass there on the exit. Keelan Dryberg picks up the first penalty of this evening.
Not the first time that Keelan's got the first 3-second penalty each round. I reckon he picks up 3, and I think he gets the first 3. So he just tests the waters for everyone else. And gets into chat, lets everyone know where the track limits are.
These guys have settled down a bit this lap. Still a few guys struggling for some traction out there when they're getting on the throttle.
Oh, is Raj going to have a little look up the inside of Jacob here? Oh, he is.
Oh! I reckon they just avoided contact there. Very good by Jacob to actually avoid that.
Yeah, good driving from Jacob for sure. allowing the space there, knowing that Raj is on the inside. But a good move, good brave move from Raj Sandu as well. So he moves himself up into P11. That is 6 spots he has gathered for himself over the first 6 laps.
He's now going after his teammate.
If he keeps going at 1 per lap, he'll move himself up into P4 by the end of this, so we're pretty happy with that.
Happen onto the end of this train behind Diabols.
Torterra still trying to chase down P3. He wants a couple of spots back. He started on pole, so he'll be looking to make some moves, but these two have just dropped right off the back of Tom Maloney and Momo. As you said, Tom doing very nicely up there in P1, holding off the current championship leader.
Well, he's getting up on the back of him. A few of these guys are looking to make some passes in the next couple of laps, I think. Yeah, Momo still hasn't made any ground on Tom out in front, so they're doing very well. Pulled 6 seconds back to P3 though.
Not quite the spoon that Raj was under, so he was up close to Franco, but didn't quite get spoon right, so it'll be another lap before he gets that one done. And he's got past plenty of drivers so far, but I would assume Frank Frankfurt will be very difficult to pass. Very experienced driver is Frank Frankfurt, so he will not be making that easy. Defending in all the right places, he will be. Just wondering if this rain is easing off. I don't know if my graphic settings allow me to change the weather or whatnot, but I hope you're right. I reckon the last 4 laps maybe could be potentially a little dry, and does a dry line form, and is there enough there for soft tyres in the last 2 laps? Probably not.
Definitely looks like the rain's backed off. If not, might have even stopped. I can't quite tell.
Yeah, me neither. I can't tell if it's stopped or if it's still going, so...
Definitely looks like the track's dried out since the start.
Might be just seeing things. I miss Spidey too. Where is Spidey? He said he couldn't race for the rest of the season due to some in real life stuff, so he's just popped out for the rest of the season. I'm sure he'll be back for F1 2022 to resume battle.
Always annoying when in real life issues get in the way of your hobbies.
How dare they?
Things like work. Can't believe they expect me to go to work. Andre will be looking to have a look here. Doesn't quite get on the traction very well. He's still in the slipstream though. Get a good run through 130R. He might have a look at him into the chicane.
Not quite. Ooh, a bit of a jangly sort of thing happened there. I don't know what that was. Tell you what, Tom is streaking away up the front of the field here.
Pulled a second on him in the last couple of laps.
A 1:39.1 is a very quick lap in the wet. Very much enjoying the conditions is this man. So
it's definitely drying out. He's pulling a fastest lap on lap 8. I think Curtis has caught right up to these guys. These guys were a few seconds in front at one stage. Northall makes a room around the outside there.
I think Jacob must have got turn 1 and 2 wrong, because Northall did very nicely there to get around the outside up into the S's. So Northall grabs himself one. Nice work. Patient driving. Now under pressure from Mike Rinaldi.
Beveridge has not made up any positions since he lost him at the start. He's still sitting behind Joe Williams. A lot of these guys down the end here, I'm not used to seeing this far down, but the conditions are just not allowing them to make up any time.
Honestly, if I was this man, I would have just taken the week off. After Hungary, I would have just gone and licked my wounds and said, well, I'm not sure if I want to come back next week. What a feels bad that was.
I've had that. I had that when I was fighting for my first win in ACC. It's a 45-minute race. I think I led 40 minutes of it. It was at Nürburgring, and then I binned it.
Oh no!
4 minutes to go, I binned it from the lead. Al had a bit of a look around the outside there. In a Red Bull sandwich at the moment.
Not enough grip anywhere.
Well, he's going to run down here. He's going to be forced around the outside though. He's going to try and make it work.
Oh, and he gets himself a penalty for going too wide. Why would you bother? God,
it did not look like he was too wide there. I thought he was still in the track limits.
What has he got to do to get some racing done? Oh, unlucky. And he's got Keelan up his bum too. As you said, he's in a Red Bull sandwich. Well, the Red Bulls are the bread. Isn't it? It's a Dale beverage sandwich.
It's a Dale beverage sandwich, if you ask me.
The best kind of sandwich.
Good evening, Impulse. Thank you for joining us. It was dry in quali, and it has been wet since the start of this race so far.
Yeah, not quite as action-packed as we've come to expect from Tier 2, but we've still got the reverse grid to happen. We don't know what the weather's going to be in the second race, so anything is a possibility.
Oh, Jesse McLean's made a move. He's up to P18. He's just passed Helmi Kasuma.
Let's go. All right, nice works. He's made his way back from that earlier spin, and he would have been 15 or so seconds behind, so he's at the pace. Still got 8.5 seconds to catch up to Keelan.
Only 3 laps to go. Tom Malone's still a second clear at the front. Be looking to just bring it home.
Well spotted by Jeremy. The Astons have indeed swapped positions. Ben Curtis moving to P4. Andre dropping another one down to P5 after starting on pole.
It's a Red Bull beverage. Oh, Jeremy, that is amazing.
He's the best. Honestly, Jeremy's very sharp. He's a very sharp man. I would say he contests with Maurice Wagner for the sharpest individuals. They have some very good quips, those two. Jeremy and Maurice. Oh, what a team they would make. Absolutely get my funny bone from those two.
Tell you what, if things stay the way they are, Franco looks like he's going to be on pole.
Yo! Oh! Nice save from Ben, but that cost him a spot. Just got a little bit excited on the loud pedal there as he noticed Brian make a mistake in front of him. Thought the opportunity was on, but just hit the wheel into the grass and got on the loud pedal and it didn't work for him. So Andre grabs that one back, goes up to P4.
Oh, this battle for P3 is going to light up in these last couple of laps. The top two have reeked away to nearly 10 seconds.
I think Brian's sort of the cork in the bottle here a little bit. But the Aston Martin boys don't necessarily have the pace to outright pass Brian Kavinsky. And he's well entitled to defend his position, which he's done pretty well. He's put the car in all the right spots. So he's just got to hang on here for another 2 laps and he'll grab himself a nice little race 1 podium. Tom Maloney's still putting in purple laps. He is absolutely smashing it today.
He's definitely not just bringing it home. He's still 100% into it.
He's 2.5 seconds clear of our championship leader. He's having a great race. So blink and you'll miss it. Just a couple of laps to go here before we reverse the grid and go again. Incredible how quick these ones go.
I'm excited for a dry race in race 2, hopefully.
Yeah, I want to see dry weather.
A bit more action, a bit more overtaking.
This track is slippery enough when it isn't wet, so I want to see these guys get on the dry track.
Absolutely no DNFs in the wet, so well done.
0.
That is incredible.
Really good stuff from the Tier 2 boys. You can see how difficult the car is to get around the track, so...
Oh, he's had another moment. He is not having a good time.
He's still
going.
Deckers and Ben Curtis both say thank you very much. Andre gets mugged. Neil not far behind now.
He's really struggling with the rear end of that Aston Martin.
He started off like literally left the the grid box sideways. Neil's
going to have a look at him here. 2 laps to go. Wonder how many warnings these guys at the front are on.
Big, big, long train here.
Franco's in our pole position spot for race 2.
He's looking very good.
1.1 seconds clear of his teammate, so doesn't look like he's going to have too much pressure from behind. Dale still hasn't found a way past Joe yet.
Whoa, that's not the way
No,
past.
that's not how you do it. Oh no, there's our DNF.
Oh no. Well then.
Only one lap to go. There will be no safety car, but
Oh dear.
that is definitely not how you pass somebody.
Oh, let's. That is death. Let's move the camera away out of respect for that man's family. So Dale's dead. Oh, Torterra's dead as well.
Oh no,
So we were watching him.
he's lost the rear end of that car one too many times.
There he is out there. He's in the wall as well.
Had a huge moment to end up
Yeah,
out there.
At the outside of
That's
Deggy too.
unfortunate. Our pole sitter out of the race.
And another. Oh, they're
they're
rolling
really
in now.
dropping
Look
like
at all the
flies.
DNFs. What is happening?
Irma, Sandu,
Oh, that is
Kavinsky from
what has happened
P3.
there? What on earth has happened here?
What? Brian from P3 looks like he spun,
Careful,
and then
careful,
the other.
careful.
Oh, that's
Oh, help
behind
me,
Joe.
Jesus Christ. Didn't really added himself.
What has happened? Kavinsky spun at the hairpin, and Sandu and Hermer have come through later on and just run straight into the shell of that car. But that
Wowee.
gives
So-
Texas P3.
Spot on, Jeremy. Curse of the century. Neil down the inside here at Ben Curtis. Oh, surely they don't want to add themselves to this.
Oh,
Keep it clean, boys. We're on the last lap. Neil does very nicely. That's a good pass. That is well navigated. Ben Curtis does pretty well there to allow the room, and now Suma interested as well.
he's definitely struggling with that car as well.
Ahmad goes past as well.
He's dropping. He might have some wing damage. Whether he hit Kavinsky when he spun.
Looks like he's all together. I don't know. Not sure.
But Tier 2 have really showed me.
Unbelievable. That is the biggest commentator's curse of all time from Yoda. Thank you, Matt Powell. You're absolutely spot on. That, just
Look,
when
we
you thought-
needed some excitement, and
Just-
we've got that again.
we were just talking about Tier 2 not quite being as exciting. And then bang! Hold
Tom
my
Maloney.
beer.
Tom Maloney's coming into the chicane for the final time.
Yeah, nice work, Tom Maloney. He's looked really sharp tonight. Just took the foot off the gas a little bit and let Momo pinch the purple lap there at the end. But that is a race 1 win for Tom Maloney. Very nice. Momo catching him towards the end, grabs a 38.8 at the last lap, so P2 for him. Decker's just coming into the chicane now. He will probably finish P3, barring a curse here. No worries at all. Across he comes. Neil Alexander continuing his red-hot form. Up there in P4. Suma grabs P5. Ahmad Jasmine P6. Ben Curtis leaking a few positions there towards the end. Will grab P7. P8 to Jacob Zavere. P9 for Mike Denoldi. And reverse grid pole.
Franco must have had a moment.
He
He's
was in
dropped to
P9, was
P12.
Frank Frankfurt. At the start of the last lap, he was in P9, so I'm not sure what's happened to him, but Joe Williams will start from pole in our next race. Wowee. Just when you thought it was being quiet, Yoda, you had to say it.
That was an interesting last 2 laps, to say the least, as Mike Denolti gets driver of the day.
Oh, I hope 2022 has replays, because I would love to know what on earth happened coming out of the hairpin there. Tom
Ben Curtis
Maloney.
used to that, so
Nice work, mate. Suzuka winner. Nice work. Gets a bit of a shower there from Momo. Those two enjoying themselves up there on the top steps.
he showed everyone how to race in the wet, led start to finish. He's done it relatively easy in race 1. But he will be starting from P10 now.
And Decker's doing very nicely to plonk himself on the podium as well. Neil Alexander P4, Robert Wenzel P5, Jasmine, P6, Ben Curtis, Jacob Severe, Mike Denaldi and Joe Williams round out the top 10. So those guys will reverse for the next race. It'll be Joe Williams from pole, Mike Denaldi quietly going about his business behind him. 0 pit stop race. So that was over. Blink and you'll miss it. There goes race 1.
Yeah, I hope we get the dry race next because I want to see some pit stops. Want to see some strategy come into play.
So while they're setting up for race 2, we'll take a very short break. It'll be no more than 3 minutes, so don't let go of your hats. Grab a drink. We will return. No qualifying here. Straight into it. No messing about. Should be on the grid very shortly.
And it's dry. The
still have to
sun
do their setups.
is beaming.
Good. Dry weather race 2, 25%. Dash to the finish. Everyone starting the race on very fresh tyres. And free choice too. Starting on mediums or hards if you're Jesse McLean.
Yeah, I dare say we will have some alternate strategies here. It'll be a bit of a mix-up between softs and mediums.
Tell you what I just noticed is prior to today, Momo's just joined him with 2, but Tom Maloney had 2 fastest laps for the season, and that is the most fastest laps we've got in Tier 2. So as I said, Momo joins him now, having picked that up, but you can see the post, that you can see the pace that Tom Maloney's got. So hopefully he rejoins us next season.
I'm more surprised that in 8 rounds, nearly a different person's got the fastest lap every single race.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
There's a couple out there. Momo, as I said, joins him on 2 now. Who else has got one? Dale Beveridge has one. Jesse McLean's got one as well. I shouldn't sound surprised. He's pretty quick as well. Brian Kavinsky, Amar Jasmine, and yours truly. Hey, when did I get that? What? That can't be right. Only raced 2 races. Anyway, yeah, there's a very nice spread of fastest laps across the board in Tier 2. So, but yeah, Tom Maloney, the only one to get dual fastest laps. He's got the pace. Hoping he joins us again next season for F1 2022 and demonstrates his wares.
Don't know if there's a visual glitch, but I can see some yellow tyres on some cars off to the right on the grid there.
Ooh, well spotted. Very
Looks like
observant from you.
A Williams car. Might be Tom Maloney there in P10 maybe.
Doing the doof as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Come on. I'm keen. Keen as a bean. What does that do for the championship? Anything? Oh, I wish I had some way of plugging in the points and instantly moving the table around. I'm not that clever.
I wish I was quick at maths.
Honestly, Deckers will have this all plugged in ready to go as soon as he gets out of the car. I wouldn't be surprised if Deckers is literally doing it right now.
Before Tier 1's even started, he's usually got Tier 2 results.
He's all over it, isn't he? He's amazing. Love your work, Deckers. Pinched the podium in the last race, and we'll start from P7 in this one. Get us underway, Jacob.
10 red lights, and we are away. The Red Bull off the front there with Joe Williams, Mike Donalty in P2. Looks like he's going to get the jump on him down into turn 1. But the AlphaTauri is going to take us through. No. They're side by side. They don't want to give each other anything. Joe Williams looks like he's going to hang on. He's done well there to come back from that. Didn't have the best start.
Yellow flags already. DNF, Raj Sandhu's done.
Done.
Absolutely immediate
we have a
death.
DFC. This is what we wanted. This is the dry weather racing.
Oh, careful. There's a couple of cars who didn't quite read that there was a VSC, and Ben Curtis getting a little squirrely there as Jacob Zavias load up. But
you do not want the drive-through for speeding under VSC.
Ben's
not in a 14-lap race.
Very experienced. He slowed it up. Fine. Graham McLeod back here in P15, having started from the rear.
He's up 3 spots. That's unfortunate for Raj though. That's a DNF in both races tonight. 5 guys have started on mediums, including Jesse. He has put the mediums on.
I'll tell you what, Neil had a pretty good safety car restart. He was all over the back Armand there. He didn't quite get spoon right though, so won't be making a move down to the 130R. Soft hard is the strategy. All right, Jesse McLean licking his lips.
Another yellow flag there in sector 2.
I'll tell you what, there's a very significant gap.
What? Yeah, Dale Beveridge has lost 6 seconds on that safety car restart. So he's really had a bad restart there.
And then, another 3.5 seconds back to helmets. There must have been an accident back here. Right?
Front wing. Brian Kavinsky coming in as well. Andre. Yeah, looks like they've all had a bit of damage.
There's all your mandatories getting out the way nice and early. Hopefully tyre degradation is low, and then whatever the tyre they go on to.
Andre's put the hards on.
Interesting.
But the softs cannot go, 12 laps? Surely they would have lasted 12 laps.
Oh, they'd be squealing by the end of it. still think the medium. Oh, did he start it on the? He probably started.
He started on the medium. So yeah. So unfortunately, he had no option. But this battle up the front here.
Very tight.
Top 5, top 6, top 7. Even Momo there in 8th. We've got a nice long train happening. DRS will open at the end of this lap, so they won't get it down the straight this lap.
How many DRS zones in this one? Obviously, between the last corner and T1.
I think that's it. That is the only DRS zone down the main straight. You don't get one down this straight.
I can't believe there's not one down here. Although, yeah, coming into 130R, it's probably dangerous.
There was another yellow flag in Sector 1. Andre's had a moment coming out of pits. He's
on his brand new hards as well.
He's probably missed, so he's had a night to forget. Oh!
Bit of action up there.
Robert went
to take avoiding action.
He gets corner cutting penalty when Neil knocked him wide. That's unfortunate.
They're still side by side. They're not finished yet. And Ahmad's having a look here too. I tell you what, they're not going to go 3 wide. Ahmad, come on, get out of there. Oh my goodness.
God,
he is too. He's just bullying his way through as Ahmad Jaslan. Oh goodness gracious, what's happening back there?
Momo says thank you very much.
Oh, Suma's not going to get another track cut penalty here, is he? No, he doesn't. But Ahmad very aggressive on his way into turn 1, and it's cost him the worst. He's down here in P13, so that's what you get for that kind of behaviour.
Those guys continued it on, even out on the grass. They were pumping into each other. So who's binned it? Looks like there's a Ferrari round. Brian Kavinsky looks like he's had a bit of a moment. Oh no, it's Suma. Suma's had a bit of a moment. He's back down to P13.
Yeah, well, Suma's the one we were watching with Neil and Ahmad into turn 1, and Suma came off pretty badly. So Suma obviously maybe some wing damage or just cooked tyres after what happened, and so yeah, you're right, he falls back a couple more.
We'll have DRS down the straight this time, so Joe's going to need a good run because there's some cars lined up behind him.
Let's see if he can get it. I don't know, he's had to go very defensive there into the chicane, so that's going to compromise him. Although it is a nice exit.
Yeah, Mike hasn't had the best exit there. Can he catch him? Oh, he's not going to catch him enough though. And the rest will just be trained. It's Norfolk Hermer, Frank Frankfurt, Ahmed Jasmine. There's a few of them in the pits now. A few guys getting their stops done in the first couple of laps.
So this will be one to watch, this battle between Neil and Momo. Momo very quick, obviously the championship leader. Neil, a very experienced driver, and will be looking to defend. So Decker's with prime position here. He'll have the popcorn out, he'll be waiting.
Tell you what, he's got Tom Maloney catching him at a rapid rate behind him though. Knocked off 3/10 on Deckers just in the first sector.
A yellow flag in the first sector. That looks like a Ferrari of Robert Wenzel, who's again just come out of the pits on brand new tyres. So
he's had a moment, so he's having a race to forget as well.
Andre McLeod did exactly the same thing. Came out of the pits and then spun. So the new tyres that are coming out of the pits just not ready to go. Maybe the tyre warmers are broken. Plenty of spins occurring. Oh, Neil down the inside of 130. Oh, let's go. And here comes Momo as well. Oh, my God.
Thank you very much. He's going to get 2 positions here.
Oh, Momo's done well to crisscross in there, but didn't quite get the exit. Jacob Sevilla gets mugged, goes into the pits, says, oh, I don't want any more of that.
Not going to have DRS, though, so he's going to be sitting duck to Momo here.
There goes Momo.
He's up 5 positions already.
Brave move from Neil Alexander down the inside of 130R, but it costs him the DRS, so Momo grabs it. Now Neil's got to try and stay with him.
Cost Jacob Sevilla a lot of positions. He's pitted as well, so...
Dale Beveridge doing very nicely in this race so far, up 10 spots and yet to pit, I would suggest, so he's doing nicely.
So Jacob Sevilla is the first car of our stock drivers so far. Maloney's trying to get a move on here. He's got onto the back of this DRS train, but Unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to pass. Mike Denolte's got in front of Joe Williams somewhere.
Ben Curtis could be on for another race win here, just quietly. Nothing against Mike Denolty and Joe Williams, but he is in red-hot form, and he's a full second and a half clear of Momo, so Momo, without the DRS, will take a while to catch up. Ben's got to be patient here, but if he just is enough, Joe ducks into the pits.
That was a late call pit there.
Ben's going to get DRS here, which will suck him right up the back of Mike Denolty. Tell you what, Momo's coming, though, with a 31.2. Neil Alexander's gone past him. As we spoke about Momo getting the fastest lap, Neil had the DRS and gets that spot back. So these two battling along nicely.
They're nearly out of battery though. They've used it all.
Ahmad Judgment
as well.
Ahmad Judgment has left the session, although his car carries on.
Oh, the AI will take control of that.
Luckily, he is sort of in a gap there. He's got a 4-second gap there and a 3-second gap. It looks like it's pretty clear, but we'll see whether he rejoins.
He's only got Norpal Hermer coming up onto the back of him. The two Ferraris are still a fair way behind. Robert Wenzel gets a move done on Brian into turn 1.
Ben won't want to wait here. I don't reckon he's waiting for DRS. He wants to get the exit here out of Spoon, and he wants to get this done now. But Mike's handling himself very nicely. And a very good Spoon. Ben not using any battery.
He's going to save it all. Tom Maloney's getting up on the back of Momo here. These guys on the mediums, I don't know how many laps they'll be looking to do on these. I don't know how many laps the softs are going to go. Mike Denolty comes into the pits. Five laps seems to be about where they're at.
I reckon he was very kind and gave Ben the DRS on his way though, so that's worked out nicely for Ben, because that keeps that half a second gap between himself and Neil. So these front three drivers now on the soft tyres.
They look like they're the last. You got Tom Maloney and Jesse McLean. The top 5 are still yet to pit by the looks of it.
Tell you who's doing very nicely up here on 6-lap-old mediums is Tom Maloney, having come from the back of the field. He is absolutely loving it here in Suzuka tonight. Driving very nicely in the Williams. Teammate Jesse McLean behind him.
5 seconds behind him, but he's doing well.
Yeah. So both the Williams boys looking to clean up some points tonight and move themselves up from P7 in the championship.
We've got another Ferrari around again in Sector 1. These guys are not having a good race.
Let's see if these soft boys duck in the pits here. I reckon it should be very close to the time. There goes Neil. He balks. He's in. Momo still gets the DRS, but Ben Curtis on 7-lap-old softs puts the fastest lap of the race in with a 30.7. That's very quick pace.
And no DRS down that straight to help him at the start of that lap, I don't think. Oh no, he would have had it from Mike Denolty.
From Mike as he ducked into the pits, yeah, but he wouldn't have had it.
Tom Maloney and Momo here.
It's getting very aggressive here between these two.
Settle down, boys. Oh, last thing you want here is some wing damage.
I reckon Tom would have picked some up just quietly.
Yeah,
surely. That was a pretty hard hit. Interested to see whether he's got, yeah, he's definitely got a piece of end plate missing on the other side there, so he'll be struggling, and Momo will want that spot back right now. He'll be seeing red a little bit. The mist will be Tom defending. Momo around the outside of the hairpin on soft tyres with a much nicer wing.
Done. So Franco's DNF'd. Is that going to bring out a safety car?
It is.
That's we have our safety car.
Terrible news for Neil Alexander, who dived into the pits 1 lap too early. But Ben Curtis, I tell you what, he'll be loving life up here. He'll be
top 4 drivers. You'll find them all in the pits now, I'd say. I know Jesse doesn't have his engineer in his ear, but I swear to God, if you stay out on those mediums now...
He'll do it now, said that.
I was about to say, no, and Jesse, you watch, he won't pit. He'll stay out.
I'm shattered this battle here. Doesn't get to continue because these two coming together.
Tom Maloney's going to lose the time for wing change. He's going to be on the soft tyres, so I'd look for him to come through the field in these last couple of laps. As Jesse does pit, but he is going to get held because Tom Maloney's changing his wings. So there's going to be a longer pit stop. So Jesse's going to get sat there, I would think.
Poor old Jesse's going to be stuck here, waiting.
Jesse's unfortunately going to lose a lot of positions in that.
Crew taking their time to get the wheels off. They're still waiting. It's absolutely boned him
all the way down.
Oh dear.
Alex pitted again. He's pitted for another set of softs. So he's decided to get off those mediums. He's down there in P12. I'd look for Tom Maloney, Jesse McLean, Neil. They're all going to be quick on these fresh softs once this safety car comes in. But I don't think it's going to come into lap 11 by how far behind these other guys are. So we may only get 2 laps of racing once this safety car comes in.
Ben Curtis looking very, very nice for another race win. With just a few laps to go on very fresh tyres, he will be loving life up here in P1. 2 in a row for Ben Curtis Diabol's looking... Oh, I don't want to say it's not that. I don't want to jinx the poor man, but he's going to do it. He's looking pretty good so far. His safety car's probably going to do another couple of laps. It's an Aston Martin 1-2 at the moment.
At least the safety car's holding their own. We don't have any sparse shenanigans going on at the moment. .130.2 is the fastest at the moment.
And that was on 7-lap old softs. By this man, only a lap or so ago.
Denalti's back up there into P2 now, so Diabols has done well. He's built enough of a gap to be able to pit and get back out in P1. So you might be correct here. I think he might be on for another win. Fingers crossed these back 3 drivers can catch the safety car this lap and we can get ourselves 3 laps of racing to finish off. But the poor Mercedes pair are going to take a hit in the Constructors Championship this round.
Indeed, yeah, currently P5.
I think that'll be 0 points for both of them for both races. I don't know if P13 gets points.
About 100 points clear of Ferrari, but yeah, about 150 points on offer each round.
Oh, that was close.
Very happy to see Dale Beveridge up here in the top 10. Doing much better in this race. Very sad to see Andre McLeod down here in P16 after starting on pole for race 1. I was thinking he might be on for a strong night. But once again, pole not converting into race wins for this man.
He's unfortunately had that a few times this season.
He's had 5 pole positions, the most of anyone by a long, long way, for a total of 0 wins.
That's disappointing. He would not be happy with that. Everyone's caught up with the safety car, so hopefully the safety car's in this lap.
Give us 1, 2, 3 racing laps and perhaps 1 lap of DRS at the end, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we may get the DRS on the last lap.
Although with only 1 DRS zone at the very start of the
I'll get it at the very start of the last lap.
Yeah, so on the way down to turn 1.
Yeah.
All right, what's Ben going to do here? Octane Oldie waiting patiently. Ben leading the field.
He's holding him. Going to go.
Away he goes. Mike was ready. Mike did nicely there to get on the gas. He looks like he timed it very nicely. So these two pulling a bit of a gap from start. Mike driving very nicely tonight. But Ben Curtis holds P1 down into turn 1.
Everyone made it through there cleanly. Tom Maloney's made up a spot already.
I think he was just holding off Dale Beveridge.
He was in front of Dale, wasn't he? Jesse McLean's around on his softs.
Unlucky. It's because he's not on the hard tyres. Not used to the softs. Doesn't know what to do with them. Oh, Tom having a little look down the inside there, but not quite getting involved with it. That's fine. Good driving.
As he picks up a 3-second penalty just to rub salt in. Momo here's on much fresher tyres than the guys in front of him.
Get him, Firelord. Get him.
That's it. They're our first bots of this evening. They've been a bit slow tonight.
They have been a bit slow. Speaking of not slow,
Momo
up the inside,
down the inside.
Not the first move we've seen at 130 yard night.
Joe did well to hold on around the outside there.
He did. Neil gets one done. Awful Hermit leaking positions there.
Neil's back up into P10. 2 laps to go. 5 balls, 3 tenths.
But you've cursed the great man.
No.
You are on fire tonight with your curses. You're having a red hot night. Look out, tier 1. Jacob Wertheburn is coming for you. Now Dale Beveridge has got him.
Here's round. Looks like Andre's round again. Going very slowly. Keelan Dryberg pits up 3 seconds.
Oh, who's this up the inside? Is this Armand Jusman, and he's having a little sniff?
He's having a little look there.
Up the inside of the hairpin there.
One lap to go after this one.
DRS will open up for the last one.
Oh. Suma's had a moment. He's dropped all the way back down to P17.
There's a few battles back in the pack, but we'll stay up here. And we'll watch this last lap.
There should be DRS down the straight this lap.
I don't know if there will be, because they're going past the detection point now while it's not there.
Yeah,
while it's not open. So now DRS is enabled. That's all well and good, but it's going to be the next lap when they actually get it. So there's no DRS.
You now got a yellow flag in Sector 3. There is a McLaren around. Ahmed Jasmine's...
Jacob Sevilla and Ahmed Jasmine falling
they've both had a moment.
Oh no, Jacob just losing
Jesse
position.
Jesse McLean is DNF'd. So he is done for this evening with 1 lap to go.
Unlucky Jesse. Was having a good night until then.
Battles are up the front here. Momo cannot find a way past Joe. He's defending extremely well for P4.
He's a classy driver, is Joe Williams. Very experienced. Not making it easy for our championship. I'm going to say championship winner. He's got it in the bag. He's 340 million points clear at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he can be caught. Mike Donalty's half a second off Diabols. I would assume he's going to have a look into the chicane if he can get close enough.
Just want to stay on board with here because Momo's had a couple of cracks into 130 yard tonight, so he'll have another go here. And once this is complete, we'll head up the front. He's using the grass as well, is Momo. That is ambitious. He's got it done. Nice work, Momo. So down in the chicane, he comes for the final time, but it is this man. It is Ben Curtis, Diabols, your race winner again, 2 from 2. Mike Donaldy, P2, and Declan Hollingshead grabs another podium. up there in P3. Nice work, Momo, after a very nice move around the outside of 130R, grabs P4. Joe Williams hanging on for dear life, not able to defend from the great man. And then right at the end, losing one more. Have we got one lap to go?
No, race over.
Yeah, it is right.
Yep. Andre grabbed the fastest lap on the last lap of the race.
Everyone's
point.
Sorry, my apologies. Dale Beveridge did nicely to pick up a couple of spots there towards the end. Grabs P6. Jacob Sevilla P7. Norfolk Hermer done nicely tonight. That's nice from him. P8. Tom Maloney, after winning race 1, grabs P9 in race 2. And Keelan Dryberg hangs on by the very barest of margins, 0.08 for P10. Dale
That was a much exciting race.
Driver of the day. Yeah, it was a good one. That's, yeah, it's the blink and you miss it. These 25% races, they are just quick. They're gone. They're just bang. Ben Curtis up there, top step. Nice work, mate. P1 again this week. P1 last week. So he's the race 2 winner.
And Deckers with a double podium.
Yeah, nicely done from Deckers.
P3 in both races. That is a great result.
No, thank you, Babby. Thank you for joining us. And supporting your fellas, who've done very nicely tonight. Poor old Jesse DNF there in the last race. But other than that, had a good night. Ben Curtis, P1. Mike Donaldi, P2. Declan Hollingshead, P3, as you said, grabbing his second podium of the night. Nice work. Momo, championship winner. P4, Joe Williams, Dale Beveridge, Jacob Sevilla, Norfolk Hermer, and Tom Maloney, 7, 8, 9. And then Keelan Dryberg round out the top 10. Well, there you go. Goodness me. On to Tier 1. We will head very shortly. Until then, grab yourselves a drink, packet of chips, have your dinner, do what you need to do. Tier 1's still 10 minutes away, so we'll return in around about 7 or 8 minutes. Looking forward to seeing you then.
Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go.
right, let's get some more Suzuka. Let's get some. And I'll tell you what, I got some very, 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 very exciting news on multiple fronts. Not only do we have a couple of the tier 2 boys jumping up, Neil Alexander being one of those. Ben Curtis is here. Who else is here? I think I saw Momo here. He's here as well. Andre McLeod as well. There's a couple of the top tier 2 boys jumping up, getting involved. So not only, Jacob, do we have the tier 2 boys up here making tier 1 more interesting, we're also joined by Oawa's most famous and handsome firefighter, Alex. I just realised what Fire Lord means. Wow. Alex Imey's with us. Hello, Alex.
Good evening. I'm surprised it's taking you this long. Actually, I'm not surprised it's taking you this long, JC.
Mate.
So that's nice.
Fire
It's
Lord.
nice when things click for him.
Sorry, I'm a bit slow, aren't I? I'm a slow individual. Let's get on track. Looking forward to Tier 1 getting underway. Momo has retired from the session. Ben Curtis is... okay, the Tier 2 boys are
Tier 2 guys won't be qualifying.
Fair enough, that makes sense. I was going to say, that's worried.
Andre McLeod and Malek will probably do the same thing. So what are they in? Looks like they're in 2 Ferraris. Momo looks like he's in an Alpine again. And Ben Curtis is in a Mercedes. We've obviously got a few drivers out tonight.
Fire Lord, of course. What am I doing? He's also our resident bot smiter here in F1 chat, so I don't know if you've still got the power to do that, but I would love it if you could. As Jacob said, they haven't really joined us much tonight. We've only had a couple.
Yeah, they've left us alone tonight, which has been nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how long it took them to come along. Normally they're fairly quick in here.
Babby's hung around. He's excited to see you here. Noted. Thank you. Yes, Babby, very good to see you. Who are you looking forward to seeing in Tier 1, Babby? Tell you what I'm looking forward to is the battle at the top. Well, I say the battle at the top. Peter Thomas is in another stratosphere in terms of points.
Thomas will be having a battle with himself.
Yeah, he is as far in front of Tier 1 as Momo is in front of Tier 2. So I wouldn't worry too much about Peter being caught. He's got 5 wins for the season. He's well and truly clear. He's absolutely dominant at Tier 1 this season. So congratulations to him. But it is the battle for P2. Daniel Lambert and Hong Yi Huang. No more than 7 points separated. So keep an eye on that battle. But then don't worry about that. Look how close the battle is for the spots behind them. P4, P5, and P6. Alex Bowen, Mitch Weatherburn, and Kyle Jackson. 277, 276, and 276. 4, 5, and 6 separated by a single point.
So it's on for tonight.
Love to see it.
Got a bit of a backup at the chicane here for these guys trying to get their first laps in. What is our pick for pole? I think it was a 28 something for Tier 2.
Yeah, they said
29 something.
They said 27s for Tier 1.
27s, okay.
That's ridiculously quick. Only one man gets my vote for that. I reckon Peter Thomas will show up tonight again. Probably gets that.
He's got the mediums on.
Oh, he doesn't. Interesting. There is a couple with mediums on, but he's not one of them.
Yellow flag in Sector 3. There's a red ball around. In Sector 1, sorry.
Oh, Paige is here as well. Hello, Paige. Good to see you, mate. Reverse grid. No, the reverse grid was great. What really ruined it, honestly, was the wet weather in Tier 1, which meant that the position changes couldn't really get going after qualifying, which meant that the reverse grid probably wasn't as jumbled as it should have been. But it was still interesting. The end of race 1, all those DNFs right here on this very spot.
Was fantastic. The 27.5 straight off the bat for Peter Thomas.
Hang on, weren't we saying 27s was going to be the pole time? He's done a 27.5 as a bank.
Weatherburn was a 29.
That's how you know
how doing 29s. He's a second and a half quicker than every other driver out there.
What?
Jared Ellis with a 28.9, still way off Peter Thomas's time.
Like those guys are usually top. Like Jared, Hong Yi, Mitch, every one of those fellas is usually top of the table, and Peter's a second clear.
I tell you what, Peter Thomas hasn't had much luck in qual. I mean, he's got pole positions, but he's been putting his laps in on usually the last lap of the session. So to do a 27.5 on his first lap is ridiculous.
Otherworldly. Unreal. So that's what you get from the Tier 1 champion. I'm calling him the Tier 1 champion even though there's 2 races to go. But yeah, he's 160 points clear, so no one's catching him. It'll be the battle between Daniel Lambert and Hong Yi Huang that we will watch tonight. Hong Yi doing very nicely up there in P2 at the moment. Muhammad Afan coming across and posting a 31. It's not going to do too much damage up the top. He's not still on a lap. He might be doing a cooldown lap here. Maybe. We'll hang around with him just for a little bit.
Surely he's not going to go again.
No, okay.
No, he thought better of it.
So the real question for the upcoming races is, how many people are you going to curse?
Yeah, Jacob.
Well, I'm going to try my best. 5 in race 1 of Tier 2, so surely we try and beat that.
Every time we flicked to someone new we're talking about, they died. Neil being the last and most well-known of those, you cursed him straight off the track.
I did apologise for that. I do feel bad. He was on for a good result.
It is, however, a little bit of karma.
Is it?
How many people has Mole cursed in the past?
Fair enough. 27.3 is the target for Peter Thomas, and 27.5 already on the board. So plenty of time
to... Got a point 2/10. Everyone's in the pits at the moment.
That's the sign of a very high-quality driver, though. If his target's not much better than his current best, he's just going out there and doing his best work at all times. He's looking very sharp. My man Nando looks like he's pushing again here.
Looks like he's probably the only guy on a lap at the moment.
I'm looking forward to this battle down the back too. We'll have to stick a little nose down there and watch how Ben and Momo and Andre and Neil handle themselves up here in Tier 1 as they fight from the back of the field.
Oh, well, they've all got the pace for Tier 1. Pretty sure they've all been here before at some stage, so...
Yep.
They won't be very nervous. They'll know what to do.
If they start getting into the fight for P12, that'll be very, very... P10. It's P10 in F1, Jamie. It's P10.
Definitely P10.
If they get into the battle for P10, that's where we'll be pointing the camera. I don't care what's going on at the front. What's Nando got for us here? He's got a very nice pit entry. Beautifully done. Yes.
He was very wide through 130R, so even if he was on a lap, he would have lost a lot of time there.
Is anyone even out of the pits at the moment? Muhammad's out yet. He's having a go. Daniel Lambert yet to post a lap. Looks like he's going to put one down too.
I think he had a moment through Spoon, so he won't be this lap. But Fun jumped himself up to P9. Not a bad lap. Everyone's on their out lap now, so everyone's coming out for their second run. Wonder if we're going to get a wet race 1 again.
Sorry, 1 second. There you go. My apologies. Now, see what I'm doing.
Someone in chat, Diabols, tell me what the weather's like for race 1. You'll be sitting there in the garage. You would have been able to see the weather before you retired.
Would they know that? Oh, they do know that now, don't they? Yeah.
They would have been. Yeah, they would have been able to see it. Daniel Lambert bails out. He still hasn't posted a lap yet. There's less than 10 minutes to go.
Can I watch someone on a lap, please?
But we are dry for race 1.
Nick Randall's DNF somewhere. So he won't be improving on his 29.4.
He's DNF through sector 1 here, it looks like. There he is off to the left.
Yep. So those death curbs claiming their first victim in turn 1, Tier 1.
What are our rules in OOR if you post your fastest lap, but there was yellow flags out? Do we technically have to get off the throttle in yellow flags? I mean, it's hard to police that in F1 with the replays being as bad as they are, but...
Yeah, no, I
mean, yeah, it's hard to police in any title, really.
Yeah, that is true.
No rules to blast past yellows, says the F1 steward. Diabol's in chat letting us know, so... Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be... If someone blasted past me after I DNF'd, I wouldn't be reporting them.
Neither would I.
Just give them a wave. What's Jezza got for us? 29-0 on the board at the moment. 4/10 up on that.
That'll move him up quite a lot of places. Should get him into the 10 if he can keep it together through here.
Into the 10. That'll put him P3 if he holds a 28.6. It's a P2. Very nice, Jezza. 28.4. Nice lap from him. 7 minutes to go. Still time for one more. But he stakes his claim. Alex Bowen goes up into P2 now with a 28.2. So the Aston Martin fellas doing very nicely on their laps.
Got a Haas around in Sector 1 here.
Hong Yi coming through the chicane now. Let's see if he can improve. He now goes into P2. So the time's really starting to fall now.
Is anyone else going to get into the 27s? Cole Jackson has a moment there.
Yep, so I think
Yellow flags popping up everywhere. People letting people past.
he's going to pull out of that lap, I reckon, is Kyle Jackson.
Daniel Lambert's still got to post a lap. He's going to get, what, one shot at this? We'll get a couple of runs in. But he's had some pace in the last few races, so he will not be happy with his P15.
No, definitely not. I'll tell you what, he's been very consistent this year, has Daniel Lambert. He has more top 10 finishes than anyone. I like Kyle Jackson, his teammate. So the Williams boys, both with 7 top 10s each.
This is round 8, so they've been in the 10 every single race.
Even Peter Thomas with the 6, Hong Yi with the 6, so no one matching the Williams boys.
Being a top 10 in every race is nothing to be laughed at.
Where does that put them in the constructors?
It is P3 in the constructors for the Williams guys. They are 90 points in front of McLaren and only 40 points shy of Aston Martin.
Okay, so the constructors is very close as well. Everyone in the pits again. They'll be coming out soon for their last runs.
P3 in the constructors with 0 wins between them. So, yeah, it shows you what the consistency is worth. Tell you what, it's gotten very cloudy, has it not? Is it just me, or is it just cloudy at the start?
Andre said in chat it was going to be overcast for race 1.
So he gets one on the board.
P6.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, Peach? We don't like it. We're hoping it's gone for F1 2022. We're hoping it's one of the bugs that gets squashed and removed with all of the juicy new money they've got coming in from our friends at EA Sports.
We'll wait and see on that.
We'll wait and see on that for sure. There's plenty of people waiting to see how good that game is. I'm waiting to see how good that game is before I go and splurge on VR.
So registrations are open for the next season, so if you're looking to get involved, now is the time to do so.
Hammer Farn currently 2/10 up on his lap, so we'll jump him up a couple of spots if you can manage to keep that time under his belt. Sure, we're looking for another 10th or 2 in this last sector, but there's not much time to gain through 130R on the chicane. Obviously flat through 130R, so there's really nothing there. And it's this
Half a second up though. It should move him into the 10 if he can keep it together.
had a good sector 2 then. Yeah, nice one, Mohammed.
That's a great lap. Alfa Romeo P5, P6 at the moment.
Peter Thomas, it must be noted, is on his out lap. Oh!
Oh, round he goes.
Well, lucky that wasn't a lap, Mohammed.
That will be him done with the time remaining.
Yep, he won't be improving. Gets style points for that, though. Well played. Oh, it sounds horrible. Jug, 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 jug. No, I can't do it. It's off. But you can even hear it in this camera. Jug, 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 jug. It's kind of funny. No, it's not funny. I don't like it. Who's on a lap? No one. Muhammad's not. We watched him bin it. Kenneth? How's he going? He's flying around. He's on a lap. Let's go, Kenneth. What do you got for us?
These AlphaTauri boys that want to improve. P9 and P11.
What are you expecting out of your race, Diabols? What do you reckon? Are you fighting for the top 10 here? Are you going to get for the reverse group? Are you going to get a reverse group pole and then win the second race? Is that the plan for Diabols? And do the Tier 2 drivers start in that order? Like, is Momo starting from P17 and Ben
Yes,
Curtis?
I believe so. Yeah, the order they DNF'd in is the order they start in. So whoever DNF first, or whoever retired first, will start P20 and then so on and so forth. Oh, Kenneth has a huge moment there.
Nope, that's not a lap from Kenneth. All right, let's jump on board with Peter. He's on one. That looks like that was no way near the apex. I'm not going to tell this man how to drive, but, I mean, it looked quick. But it was nowhere near the apex. I don't know if that's the best line.
No, he's a 10th down.
Right. So, well, it's only a 10th down. There's still time for improvement if he gets the second sector and third sectors right.
But his second sector and third sectors wouldn't have been bad on his first lap.
It's just in a random server join order. Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, I didn't know whether you guys had planned that and had that in championship order with Momo, Ben Curtis, Andre McLeod. I reckon that would be championship order as it stands at the moment. I don't know where Andre is. But that would be ECM8. No, it's not.
Ferraris are last, and that's where they should be, so...
Oh, wow. Shots fired. All right, Peter.
Besides Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc's starting there tonight anyway, so... What's he got? Is he going to improve?
He does.
He does. He's proved me wrong. He's come from a 10th and a half down.
He'll be kicking himself about that first sector because he obviously got the second and third right. It's still a 27.5, so it's not a huge improvement, but who needs a huge improvement when you're 6/10 in front of the rest of the field? So, whatever. You do you, Peter. Goodness gracious.
Ongye's half a 10th up here.
Can anyone else get into the 27s? That man's a light year in front of everyone else. Someone make him quali on hard tyres. Spot on, Diablo. Handicap that man.
Probably still get pole.
Yeah, probably.
Ongye's a 10th up. He could be looking at a very high 27 here.
Oh, it's a good exit. Plenty of traction out the chicane.
Oh, so close.
Very close.
28.057.
In front of Alex Bowen's 28.058. So, can Alex improve?
Checking flags out.
Nope.
No.
He is not. You're the curse in qualifying, Jason.
Yeah, all right. What about you, Kyle Jackson? This looks like a good lap, Kyle. Oh, yes. Good lap. Nah, I can't curse this man. Solid as a rock. Cold as ice. Kyle Jackson doesn't improve. Oh, he does improve by 0.008, which nets him a total of 0 extra positions. So P10 at the moment. Zekai not doing any improving at that pace. Nando out there in the grass not doing any improving either. Daniel Lambert, I wonder how he's going. He's just up on his personal best. As I said, currently P2 in the championship and trying to hold off Hong Ye Huang, who currently holds P2 in this qualifying session. So he'll want to get a little bit closer. Oh, you're not going to do it that way. That man is dead.
That is a nice way to enter pit lane, though.
Yeah, retired from the session. So that's what's going. Okay, so is Codemasters have
because he tried to launch himself into pit lane.
They've retired his car, but his car is still sitting here in the middle of the track.
Hopefully, he's ghosted.
Well, I don't know. Luckily, everyone's finished their freaking qualifying laps. I think that's everyone. Alex Bowen, we watched minutes. He's not improving, and everyone else is in the pits. So, luckily enough, it doesn't cost anyone any time or anything. But that's a weird one. I haven't seen that before. A DNF that didn't really DNF. Right, good luck, Neil. Good luck, Eyeballs, Momo, Andre McLeod. Good luck to you, fellas, and of course everyone else in Tier 1. Zekai Chu doing very nicely up there in P4. He's been very quick this season, as Zekai. Glad to have him on board here in Octane Online Racing. Peter Thomas P1 by an eternity. Hong Yi Wang in P2, Alex Bowen in P3, and Zekai Chu round out the front two grid rows. Two Alfa Romeo boys there in P5 and P6. Not much separating P4 all the way down to P10. Less than a second from P1 all the way down to P10, actually. If you take out Peter Thomas, look how close that field is. If you take out Peter Thomas, that field is extremely close.
Within a second, Nelly.
It's fantastic.
Wait, hang on. Decker's going to get upset if I don't do this. Let's see how far this goes. So we're looking for 1.5. 1.5 all the way down to P15 from P2. Very, very close. Nick Rendell not quite getting the laps on the board tonight that he would have been happy with. Brian Tan facing the right way for a change, doing very nicely. He had a good race last week, actually. Yes, Scroll Deckers. Got you, bro. I got you.
He's all over you, mate. He doesn't let you.
Yeah, I don't even
Doesn't
do it.
let up on you.
I don't do it for Jacob. I don't do it for myself. I don't do it for YouTube chat. I just do it for you, mate. All of the scrolling. Oh, again, tantalising weather. Did we end up getting words as to what weather we are expecting?
Yes, dry.
Okay.
So we're getting a dry.
Overcast, but dry.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We'll save the rain for race 2 then. Very much looking forward to seeing how the Tier 2 boys go. That's where I'll be keeping a close eye. We'll try and get the camera away from them so I don't curse them off the track, but the battle between Alex Bowen, Mitch Weatherburn, Kyle Jackson, as I said, will be one to watch. Aston Martin.
Yeah, I'll be interested if any of them start on mediums, the guys that are just outside the 10. If they go for that reverse strategy.
Can Alfa
Get ready
Romeo
for a very quick 13 laps. We know how fast it went in Tier 2.
Yeah, get ready for that, Alex. Time flies. Even with no...
When you're doing those sorts of lap times, 13 laps would fly by.
Goes even quicker than Tier 2, doesn't it? Peter Thomas is going to finish this race before everyone else starts their last lap.
Well, you did say
I'm sure it'll be finished by the time I get to turn 1.
I think he won by over 30 seconds last week, so...
35.7 seconds was the gap.
There you go.
From Hong Ye Huang, who is not slow by any stretch of the imagination.
Someone should make him use keyboard. That'll slow him down.
His fastest lap was a 16.7, which is a full second clear of anyone else. Actually, Jared Ellis did a 17.4, but he finished last, so not sure that really... But yeah, it's just incredible. Maximum points. 5 wins, 5 podiums, 6 top 10s, 3 poles, and 5 fastest laps up until this round. So, add another pole. Let's see how he handles himself here in this race. Later, Babby. Much love, mate. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. As always, we'll catch you around. Counting down to the start of Tier 1. Hey, Alex, have you ever called the start of a race before?
I don't believe I have.
Well, you can call the start of Tier 2 because I'm taking this one. Didn't want to get you too excited. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red lights. Away they go. Peter Thomas leads us away. Gets a great start down into turn 1. He'll go nice and easy. Hong Yi looking like he's having to do a bit of defending there. But he also holds his position in Tier 1. Turn 1. I don't know why I get those confused all the time. Come on, boys. What are we doing? Nice work, Tier 1. Great start. Nice and clean. Couple of drivers swapping positions back here, but nothing too serious. No yellow flags, so up into the second sector they go.
The yellow flag there in
Also
second
about
one.
yellows?
As I said, that
One
yellow
feet
flag.
around.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Wanafeet. Thanks for that.
He's going again though, so he's still in it.
Couple of drivers benefiting lap 1. Oh, that is dead.
Bang.
Wowee.
Honging dead. I have no idea how Alex Bowen is still going. But he will have no front wing left after that, surely.
No safety car. Is Hongye still going?
How? What the hell is
What?
He got completely T-boned.
I saw his car completely obliterate.
You are kidding me.
He smashed his car to pieces.
I have seen
And
lesser
Alex Bowen
incidents than
T-boned
that.
him. Because Alex is still going as well, and he hasn't lost any position, so it looks like his car's still fully intact as well.
I have seen lesser incidents than that result in multiple DNFs and a safety car.
So Hongye lost a front wing and all that, but somehow kept all these wheels.
Indestructible. Unbelievable. Who else was involved? Say Alex Bowen was involved.
Like Alex Bowen absolutely T-boned him and got no damage
And
whatsoever.
he hasn't even pitted.
No. Oh well, we move on.
Who's hosting Tier 1? Is it the usual
We
host,
have- no,
Deckers?
it's not Jared Ellis tonight, so I'm not sure who it is.
It might be. Anyway, we'll figure that out later because that looked pretty... Halo coming in clutch, saving a lot of lives. Oh dear. Alright, well there you go.
Well, Peter Thomas is 2 seconds clear, so you can forget about DRS on him. He's gone.
Yep. He'll stretch his legs. It's going to be very interesting to see that man come from P10 in the next race. Very early to call the race win, I know, but let's just say, for example, he does what he did at Hungary and dominates this one. Already 2 seconds clear, so if he starts from P10, he's going to be one to watch coming through in the second race.
I'm going to say he struggles in traffic. I don't think he'll win race 2.
Ooh.
Big call.
It is a big call, but it's a good call too. We have seen Peter struggle to come through traffic. Saudi Arabia springs to mind, so that's actually a great call. Very interesting to watch that. Good call from you.
DRS is enabled now, so they'll have that next lap coming onto the main straight.
Alex Bowen not
Alex
letting him
Bowen.
stretch his legs too hard. He's going quick. All right.
Nathan Monk's 5 seconds for speeding in pit lane. And we have a
VSC.
virtual safety car. So who's gone
It's
around?
Momo, who
Oh no.
has also not DNF'd even though there's a VSC. That's a terrible spot to spin if he does have damage. Show us his end plates. No, 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 no. What is this camera angle?
Wants to keep guessing.
He's got all his wing in place. He's fine. Carry on. Yeah. I reckon, Deckers, that is something
Clear soon.
well worth investigating, is whether or not the damage has been adjusted in this game. We're still under VSC at the moment. Cars trying to keep the tyres warm.
As we have another round of bots entering the chat.
Hello, bots.
Who got rid of them quick? Someone's
Fire
onto
Lord,
that.
mate. Fire Lord. He's all
Yeah, I'm
over.
on it.
He's waiting for him.
He sees the fire in there. See? There was a bit of fire in the name of the bot. So he's just instantly onto it. Oh, there's plenty of VSC drive-thrus.
Andre McLeod looks like he's picked up one as well. And Nathan Monk's got one for speeding in pit lane. But Brian Tan, he was already up 4 positions or something in the race, but he's now ruined that with a drive-through.
Oh, a bit of contact there between Jared and Kyle. Now it looks like Kenneth is here. Jared holds him off, but they're going to go side by side down to turn 1.
And it's got the softer tyres on, so he's got the pace. Brian Tan doesn't do his drive-through this lap. He's going to hold on to that.
Jared holds a nice line down the inside, and Kenneth goes pretty wide around turn 1. So, bad to worse for Nathan Monks.
Oh, he's speeding in pit lane while he's doing a drive-through. Zekai's looking to keep in touch with Alex. Mohamed Irfan and your man Nando, Alfa Romeo 4-5 at the moment.
Yep, the Alfa Romeo boys currently last in the Constructors, but they are a single point behind Alpine, so plenty of places to be made up there. And Mercedes only 10 points in front of them too, so that battle for the wooden spoon is on if those boys hold P4, P5.
Mitch Weatherburn's under some pressure here from Nick Randell. You got Brian Tan in front of him, who does have to serve his drive-through, so he'll be getting out of the way in the next lap or so. Peter Thomas does a 29.4 for the fastest lap of the race. Mitch Weatherburn dives into the pits.
This is our Tier 2 Championship leader slash winner. And he's well clear, so he's won it. And then he goes past Juan Afik. So, as you said, Jacob, these Tier 2 boys not out of place up here in Tier 1. They've got the pace. Momo already up into P11. He'll be looking for a reverse grid pole here if he can chase down Nick Randell.
He's outbraked himself there. He's managed to pull it up. But Jared Ellis
that's
is...
dead.
No, there he goes.
Still no DNF though.
A bit of Austin Powers action.
Tell you what, this brings Momo right in.
Momo looked a bit slow there.
Yeah, interesting. Or maybe he's just
a bit weird. Yeah, maybe he just flicked it as a virtual safety car, so he would have been slowing down.
obeying the VSC, yeah.
Jared Ellis is still going though, no DNFs.
Yeah, so that's the damage that we usually have in play, but there's been some pretty significant hits here.
Yes. There's a lot of cars in the pits at the moment. It's just not telling us off to the side there that they're pitting, but every car looks like they're in pit lane at the moment. The Delta's just not giving us that.
Yeah.
But everyone has pitted.
Pitting under the VSC. Peter Thomas, one of those. Alex Bowen's in there too. Mohamed Afan. So we're just going past the pit lane now as those boys sort themselves out. Interesting that we are not seeing that. Oh, there we are.
Oh, there it is there.
So
Seems
Peter
like
Thomas,
most people have done their pit stops.
brand new mediums for Peter Thomas. Is he actually still in P1 even though he pitted? He is too.
Yes,
Good.
sure is.
VSC's
I want one to
absolutely
get past him.
like he needs any more advantages.
What Momo's moving though. This guy's on the mediums that they need to get through to about, I think we saw about lap 8 or 9 for tier 2 before they put the softs on. But Jeremy Washington in P10, but Kenneth Ang's right on him here. This is the battle for pole for the second race.
There's still a few tyres to be changed yet. Brian Tan will probably drop outside the top 10. Interesting to see where Momo and Juan Afik filter out. They were just outside the top 10 before those guys dived into the pits, so if that VSC has really done anything, it's helped out the guys who have already pitted now. So Nando, Jeremy, Kenneth and Nick Randell right on the edge there. Mitch Weatherburn is another one to watch too on the soft tyres. He'll be looking to cut through the field.
He'll want to be getting into the top 10.
For sure. Currently P5 in the championship, so a little bit out of place. He'll be making moves. We'll keep an eye on him.
Tier 2 results are up already. God, you're fast, Deckers. You don't waste any time.
He doesn't muck around.
Some say Deckers has all of the results already done and that this is entirely scripted.
Can you imagine?
He's got
It'd be pretty good acting.
every one of these drivers is on the payroll. Deckers just gets him to do what he pleases, the puppet master.
Tell you what, Zico Chu's lost some time in the pit stops though, because he was right behind Alex Bowen before those pit stops. But Mohamed Irfan and Daniel Lambert have managed to squeeze themselves in the middle there. Oh, Kenneth has a round they go.
I thought he was going to come back on the track, so he's done pretty well there to put it into the infield.
Mitch Weatherburn picks them both off. He's up into P11.
I think Andre had a moment there too, actually. I don't know whether he got spooked by Kenneth, but looks like he's just coming back off the infield there as well. Wanafika having a little go around the outside of Momo. Nice one.
Great move.
Very nice driving.
Those guys are still yet to pit. Peter Thomas hasn't jumped away too far. He's only 2.7 seconds clear.
Yeah, but he's about 3 seconds clear of this man.
Yeah, Alex Bowen makes his way past Momo there. He's lost 2 positions.
Wanafik, Momo yet to pit, so not really counting those in the equation. About 4 second gap now between P1 and provisional P2. But yeah, interesting that Momo's starting to fall off of these tyres now. I wonder if he bites the bullet and ducks into the pits as we see. It's not Jared Ellis, is it?
Looks like it's Jared Ellis again.
And that is another driver who has just come out on fresh softs. I'm telling you, there is something to that. The soft tyres, or any tyre. I think there was a medium in the last one. Oh, he's struggling at the moment.
They will be hot as anything right now.
Coming out of the pits, the tyres are not ready to go. You've got to be super careful.
Mitch Weatherburn's got 2.3 seconds to make up on Jeremy, though, if he wants that pole position for race 2.
Wanafik still not pitting. Momo, I think, as well, staying out. Oh, that's wide there from Wanafik. That opens the door for Alex Bowen here, who goes
He's going to
around.
make that stick.
Done nicely, has Alex.
Great move. These guys are going to want to get off these mediums now. Only 4 laps to go. I'm surprised they're not on the softs already. Mohamed Irfan's not going to want to lose touch to Alex Bowen. Wanafik still looks to have a bit of pace there on those old mediums. They're all fairly spread out at the moment. There's not too much going on.
The Tier 2 boys are back here battling. Ben Curtis and Neil Alexander. Neil has made up a couple of spots after falling to the back of the field at the start of the race. So driving his way back into this one. Nathan Monk's not far behind this battle either. He's just watching on. Peter Thomas puts in another bloody purple lap, as he does.
Into the 28s for a race. Mohamed Irfan's going to have a look up the inside here. Thinks better of it.
Oh. Mind that curb.
Momo's in the pits. Brian Tan's in the pits. I think Wanafik's forgotten he has to pit. That puts Kyle Jackson into provisional pole position for race 2.
Neil getting
Swallowed down the main straight there.
mugged in broad daylight by Ben and Nathan.
Someone call 000 for him.
Hour of DRS.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
They're all still fairly spread out though. Peter Thomas has got nearly 5.5 seconds clear up front. Got 3 laps to go. Surely Warnefeek pits this lap.
Yeah, I think you'd have to pop in very shortly. Those mediums will last a while, but they wouldn't be ideal at the moment. I just can't see
No,
those.
I think he's pitted. His mediums are only 10 laps old. We're on lap 11. Does that mean he pitted lap 1?
Nope.
No, he hasn't stopped yet. Okay, so he does need to stop. So he should have stopped about 4 laps ago, if you ask me.
So those tyres not doing it for him now. He drops back to P4. Zikai Chu will now look to close up, but he's having a little battle with his championship rival Daniel Lambert.
It's Kyle Jackson's pushed past Mitch Weatherburn, but that puts Mitch back into the pole position spot. With a 1.2 second gap back to Nick Randell.
Blink and you miss it. 3 laps to go. Well, 2 after this one. Peter Thomas has probably started lap 13, I would suggest. Yellow flag.
Or was
in
that
sector
lap
1.
30?
All around again. Jared Ellis is around again in Sector 1.
Oh, no.
So he's not agreeing with Sector 1 tonight.
Sector 1's where all the death
Certainly
curves
not
are.
in his
so-
I tell you what, when that man's on, he's got good pace about him, but when he's off, he's really off. I think he spun about 6 times at Hungary.
Is to take the time between the races just to reset and refocus.
Mitch has got a run here. He's going to get the DRS on Kyle.
Warnefeek's finally pitted, so these boys will move past him. Up in a P9 goes Mitch Weatherburn, but with the DRS open, you would expect to get another one to get done down here.
2 laps to go.
And Nick Randell gets that coveted P10 spot at the moment.
He's got 5 seconds back to Kenneth too, so if I was him, I'd be holding P10. I wouldn't be trying to overtake anyone. Habano Fun's making some time up on Alex Bowen up there for P2.
Just I love how quick they go through Degner 1 there. Just throw it in there.
Weird to watch them throw it in so hard after being on ACC on Thursday night. You have to take it so carefully through there in a GT3 car.
It's otherworldly how quick they go through there. They're incredible pieces of machinery, these vehicles. And they are incredible pilots as well. Don't underestimate just how hard they are to drive. Even though it's a game, they are extremely tricky to drive.
No wonder these two are so close in the championship. They do not want to leave each other alone at the moment.
Oh, Zikai.
Gave him a bit of a moment there.
He
Made him
did.
think he was going to the inside. But Daniel still gets the move done going on to the last lap. He should be able to hold that now.
So this is pretty big for Daniel Lambert. We were talking in qualifying how Hong Yi started from P2 and Daniel wasn't able to close that gap. I think he started from P7 or something. So Daniel, currently P2 in the championship, will now extend that gap. Hong Yi outside the top 10, not looking to figure in the reverse grid pole scenario. So great result here for Daniel Lambert as he tries to consolidate P2. Alex Bowen in P4 will be enjoying P2 in this race. He'll extend his gap to Mitch Weatherburn, Kyle Jackson, and could potentially close the gap a bit to Hong Yi as well. He's only 50 points behind, so it's a big bag of points here for Alex, looking very tidy as we head into race 2 and then off to Great Britain next week.
As Peter Thomas rounds the last corner, there's a battle going on here for P4. Zikai squeezes his way past there. It's going to be a drag race.
Not over yet, but who gets the DRS here?
No one. Race over.
Oh,
Zekai holds on for P4.
Wow, is that how quick Peter Thomas is going that quick? Sorry, mate. Goodness gracious. P1. All over it. Alex Bowen, P2. Great work. No fun. P3. Nice work. And that battle for P4 through the chicane means Zekai Chu grabs P4 and Daniel Lambert P5. Nice work, Nando, for P6. Jeremy Washington grabs P7. Mitch Weatherburn P8. Kyle Jackson P9. And starting from pole in race 2 will be Nick Randell. How the Tier 2 boys go? Ben Curtis P16. Momo up there in P14. Neil Alexander P17. And Andre McLeod P18. As you said, Jared not quite having the race he was after. He'll be at the rear of the field. As we just wait for him, I think, to cross the line. There he goes now. So the session will flick over. Off to race 2 we go. No idea what the conditions will be. Could be moisture. Nick Randall doing very nicely to pick up not only the reverse grid pole, but also Codemasters Driver of the Day. He'd be pretty happy with that. But Peter Thomas demonstrating his pace once again up here on P1. Very nice. Race 1 winner. But Jacob making a very good point that... Hello. What's this then?
We have a flying Alpine.
This is interesting.
What's this then?
With
We're
a few
supposed to be...
Aston Martin crews standing off to the left there.
We're supposed to... They're in the sky. We're supposed to be celebrating Peter Thomas's
They're ascending.
race win. What has happened there? I've never seen that before.
Someone sprayed too much champagne.
Yeah, the machinery's incredible. The game itself not doing it justice. Peter Thomas P1, 28.8 as a fastest lap. 28.8 as a fastest lap. That's almost the Tier 2 pole time, I reckon. Alex Bowen P2. Mohamed Afan P3. That's your podium. Zekai Chu, Daniel Lambert, Nando, Jeremy Washington, Mitch Weatherburn, Kyle Jackson, and Nick Randall. Kenneth Ang in P11. Hong Ye Huang, Wana Feet. Jai Heng, Brian Tan, Ben Caddis, and Neil Alexander. 10 all the way down to 17. Torterra 18. Nathan Monks 19. And Jared Ellis at the rear of the field. So, that is race 1 done. We will reverse the top 10. And we'll send it again. We'll be back in 2 minutes. love these spicy little retro tunes. They're cool. I like them. Good tunes.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Hey, can either of you two get me an update? Paige is saying that the qualifying closes shortly. I don't think it's 40 minutes, but it's got to be tight. And I want to know.
It's midnight
I
Eastern.
thought it was, midnight Eastern.
80 synth. Yeah, that's what it is. Spot on. I like it. Yeah, how close is it? How close is it? We'll talk about it with Babby before. I know, as I said, it's a little off topic. P said it's a little off topic, but it is so exciting how close that is going to be by the time we close up at 12 o'clock. Not only the battle for the top couple of positions and how many laps are being done up there trying to pinch that pole position, but the battle for P48 is going to be so important. Every position is so important around Zolder. Zolder being such a tight technical track, not a lot of spots for passing, so I'd love to get an update. How
Just
close...
looking at the results now, between P47 and 49 is 0.04 of a second.
Wow.
So obviously only top 48 teams, isn't it?
It is. So that team in P49 they just need a few hundredths to make it in.
What about the battle for P1? Where's that sitting at the moment?
So we have no idea on P1 at the moment with an average lap time of 1:27.294.
Phenomenal.
Followed by OES Orange with 1:27.542. So they're two and a half tenths up.
That's a pretty good gap there for P1, really. So those guys, long-time OOR legends, Matt Lamb and Paul Britt, they're the only two. They're racing solo, those two.
Yeah, it's just Lamb and Britt, I do believe.
And then the OES Orange boys.
Yeah, I would get a confirmation, but I've just got an error when I went to look at the names. So
Lamb and Britt, yeah, same error for me as well.
She's going to be close. She's going to be close. No reverse grids in that one. Just 7 hours of what I reckon will be a bit of moisture. I don't know. I haven't looked at the weather this week over there in Zolder, but I looked at it last week and it was all over the place. It was 32 degrees and sunny one day, and then it was 22 degrees and rain the next day, and then there was clouds and sunshine and everything in between. So.
On that qualifying though, get in there and improve that time of yours, JC, because we are 0.005 off P6.
Me? I'm not improving. No way. I busted an absolute nut to try and get that 27. I'm done. I've wrapped mine up, mate. It's all up to you and Gibbo.
One of us has to improve because I want P6.
I would love that too.
well,
But I think we've got a nice gap behind us, just quietly. I actually don't mind where we are. I think
It's a couple of tenths, and P7 gives us the inside of the track for turn 1.
I reckon we've just about strategically nailed it.
I'm just happy with P21 for my team.
You've done very well, Alex, just quietly. Start of the week doing 29s. You pulled down a couple of low 28s now, so looking really good.
Right, into this. We are getting ready to get underway.
Let's get some. Alex, call it. You're up. On debut, Suzuka Race 2. Let's get some.
It's right in the deep end. And we're off and away. A good start across the field. Nick Randall just ahead coming into T1 and manages to sweep across and hold on to it. As we see Jeremy Washington just trying to sneak it up the inside of Mitch Weatherburn there.
See the yellow flag already. Momo's around at the back.
Whoa.
Oh, we've had a big
bit of death there.
Whoa, what was that?
Someone has had a huge moment. Mohammed Irfan's falling down the order.
There was, I tell you what, there was broken wings and all sorts of crap flying around. So the damage is definitely on this one.
Zikai Chu, Hong Yi, and Mohammed Irfan look like they may have come together. Hong Yi's down in P20. And Zikai's P18. So those guys, you would expect them to be into the pits this lap.
Still plenty of fighting happening here in the middle.
Neil's jumped all the way up to P10 already. Just about to nab P9.
Brilliant start for him.
He's up 8 spots already. Kenneth looks like he's got a bit of wing damage.
Yeah,
'cause he's
surely with damage here.
that car turned in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's missing the side plate.
Yeah, looked like a few bits missing.
I think there'll be a few cars into the pits at the end of this first lap.
8 spots on the first lap. Neil Alexander, ladies and gentlemen. Bang! Jared
Peter
Ellis
Thomas.
also doing
Peter
very
Thomas.
nicely. Yeah, Peter Thomas
Yeah,
not
Thomas
waiting
up to P5, so
Jared Ellis had 6
he's doing
spots, but he's in the pits. Bugger.
Ooh.
Unlucky
So,
Jared.
whole back end of that field will be pitting. Hong Yi stays out, so he obviously didn't receive any damage from that spin. But Nick Randell still leads us away. It's opened up 6/10 to Kyle Jackson already.
Bit of a lock up into the hairpin
Not-
there for Peter on the mediums.
Not many people started on the softs though. Everyone's gone the medium tyre, which would be very interesting if we were to get an early safety car. Kenneth Eng's put the hards on.
channeling is in a Jesse there.
He must have started on the mediums and didn't want to get on the softs. Surely didn't go on the hards by choice.
Neil takes the grass route there through 130R.
Looks like he's going to get another one done.
Gets the move done though.
Brilliant move that.
Great
People are
start.
trading fastest laps all over the place. Alex Bowen with a 130.2.
He's come out breathing fire this race, has Mel.
DRS is enabled, so next lap around, you'll see some of those rear wings opening up. Mitch Weatherburn's pushing hard here in P3.
So, Peach, it's saying 8:59 PM would be your local time. So we've now started putting it in so that it automatically displays your own local time.
Oh, Peter does nice there. That was, he opened up the steering to avoid Jeremy, who didn't quite get the hairpin right and was on his way understeering into Peter's side pod, but Peter did nicely. Good avoidance there. Heads up driving. Very nice. But it's opened the door. Nando now closing the gap. Getting a little interested.
Peter's going to have another look at him. Oh, he's going to have a look up the inside at 130R. He is. He's going to get it
Nice
done.
one. Nice one.
Gets him up into P4. He's getting a move on from P10. DRS this lap. Kyle Jackson still wasn't able to get past Nick Randell there for P1.
Yeah, this battle up the front's real good. I'm enjoying these soft runners stretch the gap. But now that gap will be closed by Peter Thomas. He's got past the rest of the field very quickly.
Whoa!
Mitch
Oof, oof, oof.
It's a good save there, but all these guys behind him on the medium tyre I think are in a better position because they're going to run long. They're going to be on a much faster tyre towards the end of this race.
Bloody good effort from Mitch. You got a triple simultaneous clench happening up here in the box there. That was cool.
As a McLaren round in Sector 1, Hong Yi's had another spin.
Looked good in qualifying, did Hong Yi, but it's just not been his night. That P3 in the championship looking very fragile now as we head to Great Britain next week.
Daniel Lambert's down in P20 though, so he hasn't had a great start to race 2 either. And Zekai's in P16, so his championship rivals. Who else is around him? Alex Bowen maybe?
Alex Bowen currently P4 in the championship on 277 points. Kyle Jackson 276, Mitch Weatherburn 276 as well. Into the pits come the soft runners, so onto the mediums they will go as quick as possible. Nando right in Jeremy Washington's business. Alex Bowen looked like he had a bit of a moment there and he just caught it. The quality of driving from Alex on show there. Didn't even look like a mistake to the untrained eye, but he definitely not quite on the line you want it to be. But managed to catch that little snap.
Jared Ellis fastest lap. He's flying.
30.2. I'm sure we'll see that time come down when the pit stops are complete and the fuel starts to leave. But that's a good lap from Jared so far. Nice one.
Swana Feeks had a moment. He's not agreeing with those medium tyres this race.
Now here will be an interesting battle.
Neil has pitted.
Peter Thomas has gone past Kyle Jackson while we're not looking, and it's on a tyre diff too. So he is...
He's going to have DRS on Nick Randell here too, so I'd expect him to go launching past Nick down the straight here. Yep. And he does so with ease.
Into the lead he goes. It took him
Kyle
6 laps.
Kyle Jackson may get him as well, and he does. So Nick Randell loses out 2 positions in 1 lap.
It took him 6 laps, Jacob.
6 laps, and I said he wouldn't win. It's not over.
Well,
it's not
5
over.
really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 5 laps.
Unreal.
More like
Man's on a
Hongi.
whole nother planet.
Peach with another cracker in chat.
Yeah, look, I might time him out for that one.
I love Peach. No, you can't do that. That's great. Oh, dear.
Swanafeek pits for the soft, so he's going to go 7 laps on the soft tyre. Now, we've got a lot of different strategies playing out here. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. There's no one around.
Yep. Some Marshall just waving his flag around for no reason.
Mario at it again.
Mario! Wouldn't be Mario here, though, would he? He doesn't travel the world, does he? He just stays in Imola. Who would it be here?
Ah, Mario's everywhere.
Italian, but made in Japan.
Mr. Worldwide. Into the pits comes Peter Thomas.
So Mitch Weatherburn's the lead car of the pitted drivers at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see where Peter Thomas comes out in relation to him. He will be in front, but by how much? Neil's out of battery already.
Yeah, Hong Yi looking dangerous here.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for the rest of the race if he's got no ERS.
Going to open it up now. He's going to use the battery and he's going to go zipping past pretty comfortably.
Absolute sitting duck.
So Peter Thomas has come out half a second clear of Mitch, but he is now on the faster tyre, so he's probably going to pull away there. But this is provisional P1 and 2 at the moment. As we have Daniel Lambert has DNF'd coming onto the main straight.
Wow, really not his race here.
Is that going to bring a safety car?
Race 2.
Does not look like it.
Should have done it by now. No, car
Yeah.
disappears off the track map.
So that's unfortunate for him. He had a great result in race 1.
Wow. Yeah, well,
Safety car there would have really spiced things up.
absolutely. Yeah, a couple of drivers would have been screaming for that. Alex Bowen and Muhammad Afan, Nathan Monks, all those medium runners, they would have been very happy to jump on the softs right now. Speaking of Alex Bowen, into the pits.
Muhammad Afan follows him in. Malik grabs himself a 3-second time penalty. That's the second one of this evening.
Nathan Monks jumps into the pits as well. Ben Curtis now at a P3.
Got top 4 drivers still yet to pit.
Remember when I said Ben Curtis is going to win race 2?
We're on.
Oh,
We're
he's
on.
He's on.
He's got to do a 5-second pit stop to get out in front of Peter Thomas, though.
He can do it. I believe in it.
These two up front have been very clean so far.
Alex Bowen chasing around teammate Jeremy Washington.
Your man Nando's currently provisional P3 on the road, currently P7 on track. I think you'll find these top 4 will all pit within the next 2 laps.
Good quality of driving here in Tier 1. We saw a fair bit of argy-bargy occurring in Tier 2.
Well, Alex Bowen's gonna
The two
put
teammates
the
here.
130R here
Are
on his
they?
teammate.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he got it done well before the corner.
Nice one.
But he'll be a sitting duck with the DRS zone here down the straight. Peter Thomas does a 29.2.
On those fresh
On
softs.
his pretty much first lap on soft tyres.
Yep. No tyre warming problems for Peter Thomas.
Nick Randall and Kyle Jackson are in the pits. That leaves Ben Curtis and Momo left to pit.
Brian Tan still facing the right way.
Is that a good night?
Yep. If he's still going in this direction, he's doing well.
P8 and P9 for Randall and Jackson, so they lost quite a bit of time after being first and second since the start. But hopefully on those fresh mediums they can make some positions up towards the end.
How about some out of context success posting? Ben Curtis and Momo, Tier 2 fellas, up there, P1, P2. Cop that, Tier 1. Out of context success posting. Currently P1 and P2. Love it. Although
Surely they slap.
Peter's not far behind here, so he's just going to zip past when these two duck in the pits and retake control of this one.
He's put 5 seconds on Mitch already. And he come out of the pits 2/10 in front of him. Wanafeek's having a shocker. He's spun twice in this lap already.
Well, speaking of spins.
Round goes Nando.
Bang.
Say goodbye to your front wing.
That entire wing is gone. Now, can he get into the pits from here, would be my question.
Should be able
He's
to.
got to dive across the track, though. It's going to be dangerous. He's got to be careful.
He's going to wait,
He's done
wait. Yes,
He's
good
done
man.
very well there. Nice work, Nando.
Unfortunate, he was looking for a P3. He was in for a great result.
VSC. Does this help anyone? Brian Tan into the pits. Hong Yi dives into the pits.
I think everyone's pitted. Some guys are pitting again.
Torterra speeds in the pit lane. Unlucky.
Not ideal.
Hong Yi and Brian Tam pitted. So Hong Yi's going to lose that big time there, being stuck behind his teammate.
He said it wasn't a good night for Wanafeek. He gets a big bloody drive through into his name as well, speeding under VSC.
And it now looks like he's had a spin at pit entry.
Wait, really?
Yeah, well, he was stopped at pit entry.
Oh, okay.
Now
Wouldn't want to do that to our man. He had a good race 1, did Wanafeek. Not race 2, unfortunately.
the gaps
No,
are
just
widening up.
quietly. Diabols. Ben Curtis. P9 after stops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
very
on
nice.
laps too, with 3 laps to go. He's right behind his teammate Zekai as well.
It shows you the quality of that driver.
Kyle Jackson was very loose through the chicane there.
Nick Randall was very loose on the exit, so that's going to make him a sitting duck
The
to
overtake.
Kyle Jackson.
He's going to go after Jeremy Washington now. Has he got enough laps to catch him? Boom.
Another yellow flag. Is that Wanafeek? Please no.
Wanafeek
Please
dead.
no.
It is.
Please
And
no.
the lead is coming around. So he's spinning on about every lap at the moment.
He's got all his wing in place.
Oh, out of the way.
my God.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Oh my God, Juan, what are we doing?
Oh my god.
Oh, my. There goes another front wing. Red Bull will be out of parts in a minute.
Yeah,
At this point in time, you'd just park it and retire, wouldn't you?
oh, goodness gracious. Like, I understand what he's trying to do. He didn't want to come back onto the track, but diving across it, probably not ideal. Anyway, got it done. Oh, then he gets a 10 second.
services.
He's already dead.
Oh, man. He's doing the best he can.
Oh, no. What have you got to do, Warnefeek?
Stewards
You know
have
what? Oh,
decided
no, he's now
that
DNF.
they got
He's
lots of
now
salt to
DNF.
use.
Is that enough? Fair
He's
enough.
put it in the wall. He's without that front wing. Alex Bowen's gotten past Mitch there into 130R. Mitch
I reckon
will have the DRS here, but
That's the third, I reckon maybe even the fourth move that Alex has made through 130R tonight.
Look at him pull away out of that chicane there on those fresher softs. Mitch has got to stay close to him. He's only going to have one more shot with DRS next lap. And then that'll be the last
And
lap. We are on lap 12
Peach at it
already.
again.
Peach, you can get in chat anytime you like, mate. You are gold. Join us every Sunday. That's amazing. Although we've only got one Sunday to go. Great Britain next week. Silverstone. Great track, Ben Curtis. One of Diabol's favourite tracks is Silverstone.
Jeremy Washington on the softs behind Mitch there will be looking to nab himself a P3, I think. Two of the tier 2 boys are up there. All three of them are. P8, P11 and P12.
Definitely a good showing from him.
Yeah, well, Momo will find himself in Tier 1 next season if he keeps this up. He's dominated Tier 2 this season, so there'll be
It has to be.
there will be a petition put out if he finds himself in Tier 2 during qualifying. They'll say, hang on, no. Get him up there in Tier 1. And showing here that he's clearly got the pace to do it, for sure, mixing it with the big boys.
So Peter Thomas is starting the final lap now. Battle for 2, 3 and 4 is very close though. Alex has streaked away out of that chicane again. Jeremy can sniff that last position on the podium.
Nathan is all over the back of Zico Achu. Has been for a lap and a half now. Just waiting for this move to occur.
Very hard to get anything done through sector 1 here.
This is the last lap. Again, pretty uneventful here in Tier 1 Race 2 because these guys are just high quality drivers. They just don't give each other an inch. The pace.
Nando grabs himself the fastest lap of the race.
Nice one, Nando. After smashing his wing into oblivion, he pulled it in the pits, got some fresh softs and said, I'll have a purple. Thanks very much. That's a point for me. Nice one. So, we're going to see any shake-up of positions here in the last lap. Oh, it's
Jared
Ellis.
Ellis is around, so Red Bulls have had an absolute shocker.
Yeah, that's in Sector 1. He hates
Jeremy
those S's.
not going to get close enough here to have a dig, or is he? It's right on him. He's having a look. He did well to pull that up there. So Peter Thomas is not going to let Nando have that fastest lap.
You got to do that to my man Nando. Wins by 6.5 seconds with the purple at the very end. Nice work, Peter Thomas. Alex Bowen for P2. A very nice drive from Alex Bowen. Saw a couple of moves through 130R, and if not a few more. Mitch Weatherburn grabs P3. Enjoy that.
Your man Nando was that upset that he lost the fastest lap that he's
He
DNF'd on the last one.
He has too. Look at where he has DNF. That's at the entrance to Spoon. How has he managed that? How has he managed that? Interesting. It's a weird spot, the DNF. Jeremy Washington grabbed P4, Kyle Jackson P5. Nick Randall P6, Mohammed Afan P7, Ben Curtis straight out of Tier 2 comes up, grabs P8. Here's another one who may or may not find himself up in Tier 1 next season with that kind of attitude. Nathan Monk's P9 and Momo, another of our Tier 2 drivers, grabbing a top 10 in Tier 1. So, nice work, Tier 1. Very nice. Very clean driving with that.
one.
Yeah,
It was very
absolutely.
uneventful, that race. Besides those Red Bulls having a hard time staying on the track.
Look at him. He's got his wings out. He is showing off. It's Peter Thomas. He got maximum points last week, 110 on the board, and he'd be bloody close to doing that again tonight with 2 race wins coming from P10 to pinch this one from reverse grid P10 all the way up into P1. He was up in P1 within 5 laps. That shows you the pace of that man. He's on another level.
I think he grabbed everything tonight, didn't he? Pole, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps.
It'd be another clean sweep, I would suggest. Yep. So that will consolidate not only his position at the top of Tier 1, but it will also consolidate the Haas boys at the top of the constructors for Tier 1. They're currently about 170 points clear at Aston Martin, so I haven't factored in the new points that they will get after tonight. That'll be a massive, massive night for them. Alex Bowen P2, Mitch Weatherburn P3, Jeremy Washington, Cole Jackson, Nick Randall, Mohammed Afan, Ben Curtis, Nathan Monks, and Momo. Nice work to all drivers in Tier 1 tonight. As you said, very clean stuff. Daniel Lambert and Juana Feet DNFing themselves, and poor old Nando there having the purple lap stolen away from him at the very last breath. So, another one bites the dust. That is Japan down. The super sprints are completed for the season. We've got 1 to go. On to Great Britain next week. Momo has already wrapped up Tier 2 and Peter Thomas has already wrapped up Tier 1, but there's still plenty to shake out in the lower positions. 2s and 3s and 4s all being fought for. Alex Bowen picking up great points will plonk himself into that battle for P2. But until we move on to Zolder, not a lot happening in Octane Online Racing this week. So the Sprint Series obviously has finished for the season, as has the Rookie Series. So they're on a bit of a hiatus. Everyone just enjoying a bit of a holiday at the moment for ACC. But the Endurance still ramping up. The qualifying still happening until 12 o'clock tonight. If you haven't got your eyes on the Endurance qualifying leaderboard, go and do yourself a favour. It is extremely close. So looking forward to seeing how that shakes out tomorrow.
2.2 seconds between the top 48.
2.2 seconds between 48 teams. That's not just drivers. Obviously, each team has 2 or 3 or 4 drivers. That's each team. That's amazing how close that is. That's ridiculous to think about. But until Zolder kicks off in a few weeks' time, we will probably not see you again until Great Britain next week. So June 26th, Great Britain, and then July the 2nd for Zolder in ACC. Until then, Alex Imey, thank you very much for joining me and Jacob tonight.
It's been fun.
And Jacob, once again, my pleasure, my friend. It's always my pleasure to be commentating with you, but thank you, sir, for joining me.
Oh, it's been another great night of racing. It's been very enjoyable.
Love your chat. Thank you once again. Peach, you are great quality, mate. You join us anytime you want. Babby was in here. Everyone was in here. Diaboles, Nando, all jumping in after Tier 1 to say goodnight as well. Thank you, bots, once again. Everyone, Octane Online Racing's been here again tonight at the Zuka. We'll see you midweek.